Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Yeah, I've watched so many people get their legs broken.
Yeah.
And I see it in like jiu-jitsu videos all the time where someo's like going for a heel hook and then you hear this crack. And then the guy screams in agony. And then everybody's like, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah, and the arm, there's the million arm wrestling videos.
Oh, I saw a guy and a girl arm wrestling. And the guy broke the girl's arm. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Fuck. I was just like, how does that, because I don't want to do it ever again, really.
Arm wrestling?
No, I think it's stupid. But like for me to get involved in, but like even when I'm just like, well, why is this happening? And there was these two competitors, like pro arm wrestlers, were like, well, you never want to get away from your body. So like, they're like, arms break once they're out here. So you always, they're like, keep your arm in tight. Like arms don't break when you're here.
Right.
But once you get extension, they're like, that's when.
It's the dumbest macho thing that we do.
For sure.
Like
I did it with
wanna
you
wrestle,
once.
bro?
I did it with you in Louisville. Do you remember?
No.
It was a horrifying experience. It was after we did a show in Louisville at the club. I think it was tied to a UFC.
Okay.
One of those. It was back in the day. And we went to a bar afterwards. We were shooting pool. Somebody said arm wrestling. I was like, and you're like, you want to do it? I was like, sure. Dude, I couldn't believe how strong you were. I mean, I know you're strong, but I was like, you're like, go. And I was like, I am going, dude. Like, I couldn't get any fucking movement.
Well, you're fucking that dude that works for you. That was the most ridiculous.
That was hilarious. That was.
Do you think he just does that because he just wants attention?
No, I think, I mean, there might be a little bit of that, but I really think that's Ennie. He has this thing. It's probably just, it's part of his wiring. It's probably gotten him somewhere in life in some ways where he just goes
delusional.
Being delusional about I can't lose. Like if somebody says I can beat you, like they can't beat me, and you're like, what are you talking about? And then when you were pulling up, I was like, why don't you fucking ask him? Because I already knew what was going to happen. And then he also loves to gamble. I was like, yeah, I'll take that action. So yeah, that's Ennie, and yeah,
But he's not even a strong guy. That's why it was so confusing. I was looking at him like, you want to arm wrestle? Like, you're not even a strong guy. Like, you don't like. There's probably a lot of things you could do better than me. But this one
you got. Yeah.
This is silly.
But
this one's silly.
It is funny how our capacity for delusion is just incredible.
It can serve you well. If you get lucky, right?
Yeah, I think the two things I think about. One of my friends was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and he found out at stage 4.
Oof.
Right? Like, had to go to the hospital, like, because his wife was like, you're fucking sweating and you're, heavy breathing. It was after one of my shows. And so they go, and then the next day, they're like, stage 4 lung cancer. And all the doctors were like, say goodbye to your friend, And his brother found the expert, like in this specific type of, because there's in oncology like really specialized types of cancer and treatment. And I remember talking to him, and he was like, I'm going to beat this thing. And I was looking at him, and I was like you're so stupid, like you're definitely going to die. And but the thing is, I saw that he
believed it.
1,000% believed it.
Yeah.
And as he got better, I was like, this guy's fucking delusion is serving him in this. Like, I think most people, like, I remember when my uncle got a mesothelioma, and he was like a high level urologist at the Mayo Clinic. And I remember when I was talking to my dad about it, he was like, yeah, he's too smart he can read the labs. He knows what he has. Like he's too smart to go like, I'm gonna beat this thing. You know what I mean? Like you're just so well versed.
But is it a delusional thing, or has that guy had other success in life because he's just super determined?
I mean, he's certainly a determined guy and successful in what he does. But what's up, Big Head Steve? I'm talking about you.
Yo, Big Head Steve.
Yo, Big Head. But I really was like, I credited this guy's, like, it felt like a level of delusion to believe you were going to survive
but
this.
If he's correct, and he was correct, then it's not delusional.
Correct. Yes.
Right?
But you
Which is
always
kinda crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
The doctors were like, "You're dead,"
Mm-hmm.
and what if he just decides I'm dead and he starts freaking out, or maybe he goes to Oregon and gets assisted suicide?
And so many people go down that path,
Yeah.
right? Like, but you're right.
They're whacking people left and right up in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, if you're depressed,
Yeah,
like you're not feeling good, come on in.
Sign up.
Fucking
Yeah.
sign up for the program. We'll get
Where
rid of
else
you.
is that? That's-
They'll
isn't
just
that-
kill you.
In Europe, they in the Netherlands, don't they do that? Somewhere
I
else?
don't know. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's other countries, but it's a recent thing in Canada where they're just whacking people.
I didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah,
to that
yeah.
degree.
See, Google it, because this is something you'll actually find on Google. It's assisted suicide in Canada.
The other delusion that because I just watched the Scott Peterson.
Is that the Lacey Peterson?
Yes.
So is that one? Is the new one where people are saying maybe he didn't kill her?
No, it's essentially it's fantastic. It's on Netflix. I think it's a 3-part docuseries, and it begins with because it's like this reminder. 'Cause it was 20 years ago,
Right.
Time just you're like, oh shit.
What was that story? How did that one
So
go?
that one,
Canada's controversial medically assisted death program is fastest growing in the world.
damn.
Since suicide became legal in Canada, the number of deaths have grown each year. So this is August. So this is just last month. So what is it saying in terms of the numbers? Most recent data shows 13,241 people in 2022.
22.
Wow,
That's quite a
That's a
jump.
jump, bro. So 2022 is 13,000. Who knows what 2023 and 2024 is?
Oh man,
They're whacking people up there.
that's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
feeling good? Get in. Come on in.
Come in.
Come on. What, you get foot hurt?
My leg hurts.
I just sad. Get in here.
Get in
Fuck
here.
life.
Yeah.
Fuck life.
That's a great tap out fucking option.
It's great. I mean, what is this? Is this like? Is it a kind of eugenics? Like, what is it? Like, what is it? I mean, you could say it's being compassionate, and in some cases, like Michael Lair, he went to Oregon.
Yes.
But Michael Lair his body was failing so horribly. He couldn't talk anymore.
That was ALS?
Yes.
Wasn't that the same thing that was ravaged what was the famous woman that it was a huge international case here? Do you remember? Terry Schiavo? Was it Terry Schiavo?
I don't know if she had the same thing.
But she had this horrible, debilitating
Yeah,
disease
and you're
that was-
still alive. And
Yeah.
at the end, it kept getting worse and worse, and it wasn't getting better. So he went to Oregon to do it. He actually went to Oregon once and then changed his mind and came back.
And when you sign up for that in Canada, can you just go, you're like, that's just what I want? Doesn't matter?
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, but I know that some people are very upset about it because you're taking people that maybe you could talk them off the ledge.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have got better. Maybe with some love and some friendship and some counseling and some therapy.
That they wouldn't take that option.
Yeah, maybe they'd be happy.
Yeah.
I've known quite a few people that have taken their own life.
Yeah, I know a few that have done it too. And it's always super sad. I mean, because I don't know anybody that's done it, with the exception of Michael. I don't know anybody that's done it in the case of
Like a medically assisted.
No.
Michael's the only one that I know about
Yeah.
that. But there's Brody.
yeah.
Brody was a hard one. There's my friend Tony, who's a pool player up in San Francisco. He jumped off the bridge,
Yeah.
which is crazy. There's a spot where everybody goes.
Yeah, one of my college when I had jobs. I worked when I was in college. I worked the whole time. I had part-time jobs, and one of my coworkers did. It was fucking terrible, man. And, like our boss went to his apartment, and found him there. It was terrible. Yeah,
For some people, they don't think it's ever going to get better.
I know.
And and if you don't have support around you, you don't have someone that can pick you up. And it's crazy how someone can pick you up. It's crazy how you could be just feeling like total complete shit, and someone who cares about you can come over your house, take you out, have some laughs.
Yeah.
And you're like, I think I feel better.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
we feel better around people.
And-
Some people are super isolated too.
That's the dangerous one. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things I realized as I got older is you don't realize how many people are lonely in this world.
Right.
Like you get older, I'm saying, because you encounter more people, and you talk to people who like you realize you have this like full life that you could take for granted. Like you have a family, you have friends, you have all these things going on, and then you meet people who they don't have any of that, and they're
Yeah.
alone. And
there's a lot of those out
There's a
there
lot
right
of
now.
people that are very lonely.
Well, there's also this internet culture too, right? So there's people that don't have actual physical contact with anyone.
Yeah.
So all their interaction is with people online.
That's a dark place too.
They're streaming all day and
Yeah.
chatting all day on Instagram and jerking off, and it's madness.
Yeah, that's not a path to fulfillment. Is isolated online.
No.
And also, you don't. Sometimes I don't have it to that degree, but you're online for a while on something, and then you go into the real world, and you're like, oh yeah, I was just living in this make believe place for a while.
Right.
You don't realize it's not real.
Right. You live in this make-believe place, and you're not having any of the normal human contact that we thrive on.
Right.
All your contact is like this weird, like displaced, not connected. It's all weird. Which is like if you go to someone's Twitter profile and you see that they're online 12 hours a day, just fucking barking at people.
I know.
Like a dog.
And it's giving them
Like-
some charge.
Like,
Yeah.
It's like getting an annoying dog next door.
And they're just baiting
Bro.
people all day.
Speaking of baiting, did you watch the debate?
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by The Farmer's Dog. Dogs are amazing. They're loyal. They're lovable. Like, just having Marshall around can make my day 10 times better. And I'm sure you love your dog just as much, and you want to do your best to help them live longer, healthier, happier lives. And a healthy life for your dog starts with healthy food, just like it does for us. There's a reason having a balanced diet is so important. So how do you know if your dog's food is as healthy and as safe as it can be? Well, Farmer's Dog gives you that peace of mind by making fresh, real food developed by board-certified nutritionists to provide all the nutrients your dog needs. And their food is human grade, which means it's made to the same quality and safety standards as human food. Very few pet foods are made to this strict standard. And let's be clear, human-grade food doesn't mean the food is fancy. It just means it's safe and healthy. It's simple, real food from people who care about what goes into your dog's body. The Farmer's Dog makes it easy to help your dog live a long, healthy life by sending you fresh food that's pre-portioned just for your dog's needs. Because every dog is different. And I'm not just talking about breeds. From their size to their personality to their health, every dog is unique. Plus, precise portions can help keep your dog at an ideal weight, which is one of the proven predictors of a long life. Look, no one, dog or human, should be eating highly processed foods for every meal. It doesn't matter how old your dog is. It's always a great time to start investing in their health and happiness. So, try the Farmer's Dog today. You can get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/Rogan. Plus, you get free shipping. Just go to thefarmersdog.com/Rogan. Tap the banner or visit this episode's page to learn more. Offer applicable for new customers only. Bro,
I forgot.
Let me tell you, before I say anything, I just want to say, whoever's helping her, whoever's coaching her, whoever's the puppet master running the strings,
Yeah.
you did a fucking amazing job.
She did a great job.
They did an amazing job from the moment Biden drops out, forcing Biden to drop out. Right, whatever they're doing, whoever's writing those speeches, getting her to deliver them, coaching her, she's nailing it. She nailed that one speech. She's like, "Say it to my face."
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's cheering.
Yeah, she nailed it, dude.
And then last night, to me, when I was like, "Oh my God, this is jujitsu," where she's like, "If you go to his rallies, his crowds are boring. They're tired.
They're
they
all
all
leaving
leave
early."
her. My crowds are the best crowds.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
the number one
Yeah.
crowd." He couldn't help himself.
And she got him. She baited him on that. She walked him right into it.
100%. 100%. See, the difference in that debate was not a difference in like who's going to have better policies, who's going to be better for the country. The difference in the debate, in my opinion, was who was better prepared. She was way better prepared.
Yeah.
And even when it came to answering tough questions, instead of answering, she would just say things that she believes.
Yeah, sure.
And they sounded real good.
Yeah, that's
and that's the soundbite.
That's called being a savvy politician.
It's also called being someone who's working with a team versus someone who's like,
I don't need
they
fucking-
said Trump, that deal was the best deal. They've never seen a deal like this before. They said, how did you put that deal together?
People thought that was just brilliant. Yeah, I know. He was like,
That's he's not working with a team that's like, I mean, I know he's doing like mock debates. I know he did one with, I think he did
Yeah.
one with Tulsi Gabbard, but someone needs to like tell them like you've got these tiny little windows and you should have all the words ready for those windows.
He started
there should be
out
no repeating things.
Yeah, he started out strong.
Yeah,
because I out of the gate, everybody can't help but get in their own way who they are, right? And for him, it's like, okay, don't get fucking crazy. Like, I'm sure, the thing is like, don't say wild shit.
Don't say people are eating cats.
Eating cats and dogs. And, they're fucking coming in here eating all our pets. And, you just watch it and you're watching this thing, you're like, what? And this is fucking insane. And then for her, they're just basically like, don't laugh like a stripper. Like how you every time you come to a podium, you're like,
well, that's their panic.
Calm down.
It's a move that like comics will do when their material's not that good. They laugh.
They laugh through it. Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you remember, this is somebody like take away your politics or whatever you believe. This is a former prosecutor. It's a trainable person, right? If you're a prosecutor, you can get the information, and regurgitate it.
She's not dumb by any stretch. See, people want to say she's dumb because she's not good off the cuff when pressure's on her, but you don't understand what that kind of pressure's like. Like the kind of pressure that lady has been under for the last. Let's just think about the pressure she's been under for the last 4 years as being vice president. Mm-hmm. Everybody hates her.
Yeah,
a lot of gaffes, a lot of dumb things. So every time she's saying something, in the back of her head, she's like, "Don't fuck this up."
Yeah.
They're gonna come for you. They're gonna use this against you. Don't say, "Did you just fall out of a coconut tree?"
Yeah.
Don't say that one again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like there's that kind of pressure. So it's very hard off the cuff. But when you give her time and prepare her, like last night,
it's a good showing for her, for sure.
Very, very good showing. And unfortunately for him, like the thing that he does that it's just look, he can do it better than anybody alive is just riff. He can go out there and have a crowd of people and just. And he's funny, man. He does things about, like, he did an Elon impression the other day. It was hilarious.
He's very funny.
He's killing.
He
kills like a comedian.
Who don't like the guy still will have to acknowledge that he's funny.
He's funny.
Yeah.
He's funny like a comic.
Yeah.
It's just like we don't necessarily want that as the guy with his finger on the button. That's all it is.
Sure.
That's the thing that freaks people out. But the policies that he had when he was in, the thing is everyone's saying he's going to be a dictator. Well, he wasn't a dictator. He was the president. He actually was the president for 4 years. And the economy really did well. And he really did try to cut some of the bullshit down that's going on in this country.
Yeah.
And who knows what would have happened if he had 4 more years. Maybe we would have been economically better off, even if you don't like that one person to be like the figurehead of the country that you identify with because you live here. You don't want to identify with this guy that you think is blustery and, you know.
Well, the thing is he's going to, we have like 55 days or something. And the thing that's really going to happen now is I think he realizes when she first was announced, I'm sure most people, myself included, were like, he's just going to destroy her. Like,
right.
I didn't think she was even going to have a chance. But now you realize this is going to be, I believe, a much closer race.
It's close as fuck. She's probably ahead now. After last, like, what is the late? I saw the Fox News poll. It's hilarious. Fox News, like, 90% Trump won.
Yeah.
They're eating cats. I saw.
I know.
I saw on Facebook.
They're killing newborn babies.
By the way, I think they are eating cats.
Yeah.
I think some people are eating cats.
Sure.
I think you get a bunch of poor people that are from an island where they occasionally eat cats.
Yeah.
And you throw them in a city where there's 50,000 people. You throw 20,000 people in there, and there's ducks at the pond. I'm going to go get a duck if I'm hungry.
Well, my fucking son took one out of there, so I mean, he grabbed it by the neck. So, yeah, I would not believe a...
Yeah, dude, if I was starving, if I just came from another country and there's ducks laying around, I'd grab a duck.
Sure. I don't think it's that crazy.
That's not their fault. Like, how the fuck did they get here? How'd you get 20,000 shipped to one town? Like, what is that?
No,
What's the real story behind that? Is that organized?
The immigration issue is a legit, real issue in this country. It's in our state predominantly, too, you know?
It's a lot of it here, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean...
A lot of it in California, a lot of it in Arizona. But it's a real issue. Yeah. And, look, you and I are both the products of immigration. Immigration is fucking awesome. But, hey, maybe when they do stuff that's bad, you should put them in jail. Like, hey, maybe. Hey, maybe you should use the same laws on them. Hey, maybe.
Yeah.
We should check to see if they're murderers before they come across the board.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe.
I know.
Hey, maybe.
They just turned, I mean, this current administration just was like, oh, yeah, we should. Just recently.
Do you think, recently, I think they're also flying people in, which is crazy. But recently, I think it's because they want people that are on the fence. You know, the people that are on the fence, because this is not
all that plays to.
Yeah.
It's all that matters.
But once they're in again, if they're in again, they'll probably do the same thing. Because what you're doing is you're essentially changing states that are swing states into blue. Because if you're going to give these people money and debit cards and food stamps and let them come in, and they're even talking about gender reassignment surgeries.
Yeah, I heard this. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know
Find
if
out
it's
if that's
true either.
true. Because that's part of the problem with this whole people are eating cats. It's like you don't fucking know what's true anymore.
That's a
and if
big
you just
thing.
read things on the internet or you hear things on the radio, who fucking knows what's true?
Which is why, like, because a lot of people were also, talking about the moderators interjecting a bunch, right?
Yes.
But, like, part of that, I mean, feels like you kind of need some of that interjecting because otherwise things are just said and you
Right.
have zero idea.
100%.
I mean, the big one to me of like this is why you need to have somebody interject at times is when he said to her, like, you went and negotiated with Zelensky and Putin.
Right.
And then and then just moves on. Well, if you're a regular person at home, you work and you take care of your family, you don't know the ins and outs of diplomacy and what's happening internationally. You hear that, you just go, oh, I didn't know that.
Right.
So you kind of have to have somebody go, wait a minute, you didn't negotiate with Putin. She's never
Right.
met him.
Right. Harris told ACLU in 2019 she supports cuts to ICE funding and providing gender transition surgery to detained migrants.
Yeah, and
that is crazy.
yeah, and also
Like that's
but
just
she's-
September 9th.
She's going to do what politicians do, which she's in the midst of this right now.
Yeah.
Which is just going, yeah, I've changed on that. She did it like 5 times last night alone. Like, didn't you say this? She's like, yeah, I changed. Now I'm this. Like,
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
if people can change. This idea of flip-flopping when you learn more information, no, stick to your guns.
No.
Stupid shit you first
You
believed
can
in,
evolve and
stay
change.
that forever.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Yeah, you definitely could evolve and you could be wrong. And that's part of being a good leader is recognizing you're wrong and correcting your course. That's all good. What is going on with the earrings?
The earrings?
Do you know about the earring
No.
controversy?
No.
Okay. So there are people that believe that what she was wearing last night was the type of earring that they use for it's an earpiece. Like you can talk through it.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But why would she have to? I
So
saw it
someone
too.
can talk to her.
I
So
know, but
someone can coach her.
They have better earpieces and
Well, no, Jamie. They want one that looks like a fucking earring so you can just wear it. Duh. Like if you have one that looks like an earpiece, like if Trump had
Well,
one right through the bullet hole,
This
like a
is
wire
definitely
through his
going to
bullet
take
hole.
off. If they're already saying this,
Yeah.
this is
Well,
going
it
to
looks-
going on Twitter all.
But here's the thing: it does look exactly like
Like-
the ones that they use for what they're called Nova earphones.
Okay.
So there's a video. I'll send you the video, Jamie. But there's a video of this thing in action. It's pretty fucking interesting because in the video they're showing that these little earphones, like it's a commercial, and it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So, is the actual ear?
See if you can find.
If you have the real thing, do you wear it as an earring?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you wear it as an earring. God damn it, did I save it? I might have saved it on Twitter, not Instagram. But it's, did you find it? There's a video.
Find the video.
It's kind of cool. Look, it's cool because I like all that spy espionage type shit. It's
Yeah,
fucking
sure.
interesting. But if she really did do that, first of all, if she didn't do that, bring those earrings, allow them to be investigated, please.
Sure.
Just the ones that you wore.
Yeah.
We'll trust you. Take
Yeah.
those, because you can't really get a pair made that aren't those.
Right.
If you have those, so this is what it looks like. So
Okay.
there's a different commercial that I saw. It's pretty cool. So these are earrings, but
No
they're
shit.
actually earphones. So you listen to music, all kinds of shit. Or you can have people give you instructions and say, hey, make fun of the crowds. Make fun. Now's the time.
Right.
Make fun of smile. He's talking about eating cats.
Yeah.
Don't get mad.
Put your hand on your
don't
chin.
don't cackle. Yeah. So these are actual earphones, which
No,
is
those are really cool.
crazy.
Yeah, I did not realize that.
And so that's exactly what the ones looked like that she was wearing.
Well, that'll be a new
Yeah.
thing to run with.
Yeah. Fun times.
Fun time. These next 55 days are going to be
Yeah, they're gonna be bonkers, man.
I forgot how crazy it gets. Just the energy and chaos.
Oh my god!
that
Every
he
time I go
brings.
on Twitter, I get fucking anxiety. I just
Yeah.
send it to you, Jamie. You can see the comparison side by side of the two of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be nutty, dude. Yeah. And then when we get into November, it's gonna, oh my fucking
Terrifying.
God.
I'm just scared that someone's gonna do something really stupid. Like
Yeah.
some extremists on either side that really do believe you're gonna take away the trans kids, or really do believe you're gonna destroy the country from the inside. So that's what it looks like.
Okay.
Real fucking similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, real fucking similar. I don't know, I don't know if that's what she's wearing. She might have just been wearing earrings. But if they have the kind of technology like that for regular people, and you could do that, and most people aren't aware of it, and you can get it off because the ABC people aren't aware of it.
Sure.
Sneak it in, baby.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
It's fun.
I'd respect it so much.
I do
that'd be
look,
that'd be so
whatever
fucking awesome.
wherever you stand, politically left or right, you got to respect what she did last night. She had a great showing. She did a great job.
She did.
But it just, whoever's pulling the strings, what a masterful job of propaganda they've done, taking someone that they all agreed was not a good vice president, was the least popular vice president.
Nobody even fucking knew anything about her. Nothing.
Bro, everybody made fun of her. Even like Joe Scarborough was talking about how she's like a problem for the ticket.
Sure.
And now you look, and she's like neck and neck with him. Is she ahead of him today? The whole thing's so nuts, man. But Taylor Swift's on her side. So
Taylor Swift's on her side. It's going to come down in these key states to just county by county. It's going to be like, where you're going to, hour to hour, you're going to see this county turn in and it's red and it goes up. And then the blue county, it's really going to be in PA, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Nevada, Arizona.
Mail-in ballots.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
I still think it's so crazy that a lot of the developed world has Saturday elections. It's like
should be.
Yeah, it's where people are.
Yeah, you don't have work.
Yeah, it's just fucking crazy.
It's ridiculous. Most people have to work, and also vote in person with a fucking ID. We just got through 3 fucking years of you have to have a vaccine passport in order to get food.
Right, and you don't have to show your ID.
You have to be able to show an ID and show that you're vaccinated to get on an airplane. We just got through that.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's racist to say that you want voter ID.
No, I think it's insane that
there's only one reason to do it that way. There's 2 things that are going on simultaneously. You're letting in literally millions of people. Millions of people, and you're giving them all these services.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, however much. There's all this talk about they gave them money, and there was, all these stories about people getting debit cards and food stamps and all this money, and then they're putting them up in hotels in New York City, and they're giving them free food. And then there's people that are poor that live in America. They're like, hey, why am I not getting that?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? Well, because they already have your vote. They've already tricked you into voting specifically for this one party.
Yeah.
So now, if you bring in millions and millions of people, and then the same people that want to bring these people in, or that are allowing their policies that are allowing these people to come in, are the same people that think voter ID is racist. Like, you're racist saying voter ID is racist, by
agree.
the way.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that these people are too stupid to get a fucking driver's license?
Yeah.
Everybody has a goddamn driver's license.
That's true.
What are you saying?
I know.
What are you saying? Like, voter ID is racist?
Yeah, our system is really
crazy.
Fucked. Yeah. And so are like the county drawings that they do for districts, the gerrymandering, like they're like, oh, and you look at the graph and it's just to like engulf a part of a district that doesn't make sense to include it in. All of this is manipulation.
Well, there's also how many seats is dependent upon how many people are in your county. Like, and the more people you import into your county, the more you can change, like the
but
demographics.
These county lines make no sense half the time when you look at them, when you study the way that they're attributed.
You gotta fucking give the Democrats credit for the manipulation. I mean, they did everything like every time they've had a hurdle. Like, they moved Bernie off the fucking primaries. They fucked him.
Yeah.
Then it comes to the whole thing with RFK. They fucked him. Fuck you. Fuck Tulsi. Fuck you. Everybody's out. They've done, and right in front of everybody's face. And yet all these people are like, yay, save democracy. Like, are you not seeing what's going on? Are you not seeing, like, if the same people with the same ideas played fair, if the same people with the same ideas play fair, we have a different thing. We have a different thing. And then we can get back to people disagreeing about policy, disagreeing about plans.
You
and
seem like
they're
we're
gonna-
far from that, though.
We're so far from that.
Yeah.
We're so far from that people don't even give a fuck about what the policy is. They're just committed to their side, and anything their side does that's kind of fucked up or twisted, or they'll gaslight you on it.
Yeah.
Then they'll say it's not that big of a deal, and then they'll tell you it's good that that's happening.
Yeah, of course. You fully justify it.
Somebody had a great tweet about the eating pets thing. Here, let me. It's one of those things where I read it and I'm so happy that we live in a time of the internet, because the internet is so fun, because there's so many regular people out there in the world that are so fun.
Yeah, they are.
So this dude's name is Nick Freitas, and Green Beret, combat veteran. So, but look at this tweet that I sent you, Jamie. He fucking I can't believe this is a topic. The left, no one is eating people's pets, which means we're 1 week away from why do you care that people are eating pets, 3 weeks from why eating pets is a good thing, and 4 weeks from refusing to eat pets is white supremacy.
No, he's got it. He fucking nailed it. He nailed it.
It's just like we live in such a mad, mad world.
Yeah. And it's like, this is entertaining too, to read this, but
so
also if you
entertaining.
lose yourself in these like back and forth online, you lose your fucking mind.
Oh, you lose your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people losing their mind. It's just, I don't engage in it. I know you don't either. It's a bad way to communicate with people. It's a bad
Yeah.
way. It's bad for your health. I really believe that. I think it's bad for your mental health.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know if he still does this, and I've heard of other people do this, but I remember when DeStefano told me that he was like a year or so ago, he's like, it's fucking with my like happiness.
Yeah.
And then he gave somebody his login stuff. He's like, I don't want it. You have it.
Yeah.
I'll just send you things to post, but I'm never gonna. I don't even have my own login.
Ari did that for a while too.
Yeah.
Right before the Kobe thing. He got back online and immediately went bad.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But it's not good for anybody, and that's why I am absolutely addicted to looking at things on my phone. I'm addicted to watching YouTube. I'm addicted to stories, just looking at stories on Google, and a lot of it is nonsense, but a lot of it is super interesting science stuff. There's a lot. I get a lot of super interesting science stuff all day, and people
Try to
send me super
do
interesting stuff.
productive stuff. I
Yeah,
try
but
to
not
like
you and me.
Well, you and me have a bad thing going.
We have a bad thing. You and me,
Very
our
bad.
text, which is what I was going to get to, our text message chain is the fucking worst thing on the internet.
It's so dark. People go, hey, because they hear about it, and they go, include me. And I go, you mean to ruin your fucking life? You want
First
your
of
whole
all-
algorithm to be just the darkest?
Yeah, this is mine, Tommy's thing. But the darkest things we find, and
My algorithm is a confusing,
oh yeah, it's a mess.
like, it's confusing, it's dark, semi-erotic, and it's just the most peculiar. Like, there's also, I just can't help with all the censorship that has become, it's so prevalent. It's one of the
Right.
big topics of the last 5 years. I still don't understand why I get to watch murders
all day
on-
long.
I mean,
All day long.
I get to see on my Instagram executions, a lot of Russian car accidents and manufacturing mishaps, like people getting electrocuted, hit by trains.
Yep.
And straight up just gun to the head, just
Yeah.
like hitmen.
Yeah.
I've seen on closed circuit TV where you're like, this is cool. But like, I don't know, a girl's tit isn't,
Right.
and somebody leaving a comment that is like
You misgendered someone.
yeah, like the language is that person's account gets fucking banned, but I can see this guy get his head fucking blown off.
Right,
Why?
right.
It doesn't add up at all.
Well, that was why the old Twitter was weird, because they had hardcore porn. There was always hardcore pornography, but
Yeah.
if you misgendered someone, you'd be banned for life.
Yeah. That doesn't add up at all. It's always been this thing in America, like one of the big European versus American differences is that, we always had this holier than thou reaction to the naked body and to just sex in general, right? Like there's a topless person or a lovemaking scene, and people are like, either this is NC-17 or
Right.
But we can have someone like a grenade in a guy's mouth, and then and they're like, yeah, well, that's on fucking TNT today. And you're
Well,
like,
how is it getting through Instagram's filters?
I don't
Because I asked you this like a couple months ago because I'm not on TikTok. I'm like, did you see that when you sent me something particularly disturbing? I was like, okay, is this on TikTok too?
I've seen crazy shit there as well. I do know that the go around on Instagram seems to be just in your caption. So if you look at the caption,
a lot of time it's like 2024 Mercedes-Benz AMG. That's an amazing off-road vehicle.
Because they figured out that the sensors and the algorithm doesn't watch the video.
Right.
It's like if you were to write, here is a guy getting hit by a truck and his fucking head comes off in your caption, that thing will get taken down. But if you're like, check out the new fucking 2024 MDX or whatever it's called.
But here's the
then
question.
They go,
where is the money? How are they making money off of
that's
this?
good. That's I don't know.
Because whoever's putting
you always
these videos
have to follow
up,
the money. Yeah.
these are accounts from bots. So
Yeah.
if you look at the accounts, there's no real comments and real things that anybody's saying
Yeah.
with that account. And then this account might have thousands of these videos.
Yeah, and the war footage, like the drone footage, is
God.
just like.
I saw one yesterday where this drone, a kamikaze drone, was coming after these guys, and they were shooting at it with AKs, and they couldn't take it down. The thing was evading the bullets. And then finally it moved into the guy, threw his AK at it, and it blew up. It saved his life.
Really?
He threw his fucking rifle at the drone as it was coming to swoop, because they dive bomb you and blow up.
I think being able to see those, I will say this, gives you like a very sobering perspective on modern day war.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously, that wasn't a thing in Vietnam or World War II. And you see it, but like the fact that you see these guys out in a field, whatever side they're on. I'm just talking about the reality of these human beings run, and then this fucking drone with a camera is chasing them down.
Yeah.
And it can just blow. It just
This is the first time that's ever happened in war.
It's fucking
The first time
disturbing.
we've ever had drones that chase people.
Yeah, I'd seen, obviously I'd heard of and knew about drones that are like basically satellites, that fly.
Right.
They're like planes, and they lock in on a location and fire a missile.
Right.
But these little tiny ones that just chase people and blow up. I mean,
They're suicide bombers.
Yeah.
It's really...
It's super disturbing.
Guys are going into the trenches with GoPros on. Like, I watched this one where this Russian guy killed these Ukrainian guys that were in, they were in a trench, and he's, got a GoPro on.
Crazy.
And he guns these guys down when they're in the trench. And one guy's, struggling for the rifle, and then he fucking gets the barrel back and blows his head off, and you're like, yo!
Yeah.
And it's all, 5 feet away, 3 feet away. Like, fuck, man.
And you see that, and then they're like, do you want to make a prosciutto and mozzarella sandwich next? That's my feed. And you're like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, if you saw my feed, if I was being arrested for being a serial killer, and they had to look at his social media, look at his algorithm.
Oh, yeah.
Look at his algorithm.
Oh, Christina just all day. She's just like, you're such a sick person. She's like, look what you want. Look what you fill your head with.
I don't show my wife.
I also go to bed, and I always put on biographies. Like it's either war, a serial killer, or it's a scripted show about a murder. It's the only thing that it engages that I find enticing and exciting to watch are either real stories about horrible things or I like the suspense,
Right.
I like that genre. So I'm always watching it.
Well, it's always interesting just psychologically to see what the fuck were they, you're watching something on Richard Ramirez or something like that. I was like, what was this guy like?
Oh, yeah.
I just cannot watch those things at night. If I watch them in the day, I can tolerate them.
Yeah.
But at night, before I go to bed, it just gives me too much room for crazy thoughts.
Well, apparently that's a healthier reaction than mine, because I watch it and I'm like, night, night, and I just fucking go to bed.
I don't. I can't watch things about war at night.
Yeah.
War freaks me out the most, because I'm always like, okay, before Pearl Harbor or before 9/11, no one knew that was going to happen. How do we not know? How do we know that we're not in a situation right now where we're just before something really fucked up happens?
Oh,
and that gets me at night.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, And also the way that now, because I've watched docs on those very things recently, like the latest one, the latest Nazi one. Because at some point I'm also like, are they ever just going to be like, I think we've covered it with Hitler? Never. And then I watched the latest one that there was a Netflix release, and it was absolutely phenomenal, like the best docuseries I've ever seen done
on the Nazis.
Yeah,
what's it called?
It's like a 6 or 8 part series. I don't remember what it's called. It came out a couple months ago. It's so fucking good. You don't realize that they could go deeper and really highlight things that you didn't know about. It's just so educational. But
Hitler and the Nazis, Evil on Trial.
it is fucking so goddamn good. I cannot tell you how good this is.
So is this colorized footage?
There's colored footage. There's they go between, the like real footage, like real historical footage, narration, and it's just.
Do they have dramatizations as well?
Yes, and it's so high level. It's so well done. It just paints a picture in a way that I don't think has really been done before. It's just incredibly fascinating. But yeah, I mean, I get that at night too, because you kind of go like, especially I mean, it was highlighted, I think, even in the debate, and so it is a very valid point.
Yeah.
Which is that you just don't know what's going to happen in any war. But when you have Russia involved in this war, you do have a country with thousands of nukes.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't know how he's deciding to play this. You don't know. Nobody knows.
And he's a KGB guy who's a dictator.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing is mad. It's crazy.
And you just can do, one little thing that for him, that's the line.
Yeah.
You just don't know what that is.
Yeah, you don't know what that is, and you don't know why it's happening. You hear about NATO moving their arms closer to Russia, and you know that there was a coup that was probably facilitated by the United States in 2014, and it's like, fuck, man, like all this monkeying with shit overseas scares the fuck out of me, man.
Of course, yeah.
Every day there could be some new thing popping off somewhere in the world, and you're like,
that's another one, that the Turning Point doc about the history of the Cold War, and when you realize how the nuke programs evolved and what was really going, and like how in the 60s when we were, when Bay of Pigs and all that was happening, we thought, because they postured like, we can fucking take you guys down too. And we ended up discovering later that they had like 7 bombs, and we had like 10,000 at the time.
oh God.
But then
7's enough though.
it's enough, but it's also like, you could also target these areas. It's a more, you can deal with it. But of course, they never showed that hand. But then you see how into the 80s, how their program just far exceeded our. At one point, they had like triple what we had. Also, these are an amount of bombs that it doesn't even really matter. If you have 33,000 nukes, it's like,
Right.
what the fuck are you going to do?
The
with
world's
that?
over.
Yeah, it's over anyway. But how we both operated on a sense that like, oh yeah, if either one of us crosses a line, it's just over for both of us.
Yeah,
always.
mutually assured self-destruction.
Yes.
And then the other thing was that during the Reagan administration, they kind of like forced the Russians into trying to keep up with us militarily, which kind of bankrupt the Soviet Union.
Sure.
Because if you have a communist country, it's way harder to get money.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking, you're not making anything. You're
Yeah.
not selling anything. You're not ever.
And
There's not a lot of capital being
things got
thrown around.
really bad there economically. Like
Yeah.
massive poverty and starvation.
Yeah. And then while you're having massive military spending, it's kind of unsustainable. But then they've since recovered.
Yeah.
And then them, like China, like what's interesting, what China has done is China has developed this sort of, they have capitalism and communism, which is the way to do it. Like you get people motivated to make a lot of money, you get industries get huge, but everything is completely tied into the government,
Yeah.
which is like, oh, we nailed it.
Yeah.
This is it.
It's a good program.
It's
Yeah.
a good program.
Yeah.
It's not good for the people.
Yeah.
It's not good for us.
It's good for running the show.
It's great for running the show.
Yeah.
And that's, this is what's scary about what's going on in this country, is there's some people that have the notion that in order for us to compete with these other countries, we have to govern people in a more similar way than they do. They have to have more control over information, more control over what people say and do, more control over money. China now has centralized digital currency in some places, which is That's very scary.
Yeah.
Once the government has complete access to your money and be able to shut your money off, or to, like you saw what happened in Canada with the truckers.
Yeah.
So these people just donated money to this trucker protest. That's all they did.
Yeah.
Donate money. And Canada shut their bank accounts down, that's scary stuff, man.
It's very scary.
That's Banana Republic shit. And you could walk to Canada.
Remember
That's not that far.
To the when we had the what was it called? What's the company that they had the malfunction and then airlines just stopped for a fucking day?
Yeah.
And my friends was bringing up how all these car manufacturers are pledging we'll be fully electric by 2035 or whatever, and I'm like, man, for me, I've just always been like, yeah, that would suck just because I like cars that are gas powered, and I guess I'm a dinosaur in that way. But
no, they're cool.
They're cool. But what my friend was like, he was like, he brought up that malfunction. He's like, I just keep thinking about that if we were all electric, that the government could also just go like, doop, like,
oh yeah,
cars don't work today.
Well, there's cars today that have OnStar on them that the police can shut your car off.
Yeah.
So if you're running a high-speed chase from the cops and you have some vehicle that has OnStar on it, they just hit a button. Is that true? Make sure that's true. That might be theoretical. I think it's true, though. I think they could just shut your car off.
That's pretty scary.
So like but they market to you like, look, if someone steals your Corvette, Tom, you can just call up.
And
then we'll have that car shut off.
Sure.
And that person's on the highway and it just pulls over for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. Well, you know the story about Michael Hastings, right? Michael Hastings was the reporter for Rolling Stone.
This is what they list for stolen vehicles.
Can police use OnStar to disable a car? If the vehicle is parked and turned off, the OnStar advisor can use remote ignition block to prevent the engine from being restarted, allowing the police to recover the vehicle. So they can only do it once it's off?
That's what that says. That's on the website.
Can police use OnStar to disable a car? Click that. Search for.
That's what this
Below.
is.
Below that? That part. Click that. See if that gives you a different answer. The vehicle's parked and turned off. Same thing.
Yeah.
So can it shut off your car while you're driving? Hold on. Can you go back?
This is exactly what you're asking.
Disable engine and end high-speed chases. So it can. Satellite technology that can disable an engine with a simple push of a button helped end the high-speed chase of a stolen sports utility vehicle in LaPorte, resulting in the arrest of Mishawaka Man.
And look what it says there.
Yeah.
It was reaching 80 miles an hour before the OnStar technology slowed it to 20. So it's just basically shut it down.
So OnStar controlled this guy's car. And they're looking at it like it's a good thing, because it is a good thing, because this guy was a crazy person. Reckless driving, other counts, resisting law enforcement, running from the cops. But it's kind of crazy that they could just press a button. So maybe it's something that you didn't really do. Maybe you're a whistleblower for some chemical company that's done something that's illegal, and then people don't want you're going to crash the stock market, and you're on the run, and they know he's got the papers on him, find that fuck, and they just slow your Cadillac down.
Yep.
Spooky.
It's kind of spooky, man.
It's spooky because we know that people abuse power. It's not spooky. Like if we had our elected officials were all super enlightened beings that were different than human beings and that only did things according to ethics and rules and morals and knew what was right and what was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe then you can make a justification.
Yeah, but that's not our case.
But that's not humans. Yep. That's not humans. All that stuff's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you're giving too much power to people. And then you could figure out a way to justify it. Say, yeah, but what about those people that are running from the cops? You're right. You're right. You're right. But what about someone who's corrupt, who's got a hold of that technology, and they're tracking their ex-wife because she's going to testify against them, and they have her whacked?
Yeah.
That shit happens too.
For sure it does.
For fucking sure.
Yeah.
And then if there's no record of it, if you just got some sort of computer and you can just fucking slow down someone's car and then the hitman catches up to him, guns are down or whatever.
Yeah, all technology can be abused.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, we're seeing that with Google searches. Nobody ever thought that you could just manipulate Google searches.
Yeah.
But you 100% can. I had Robert Epstein on the other day, and he was explaining how it's done and what they do, and they're capturing all these ephemeral. So like every time Google shows you stories or every time you Google something, they record what Google shows you. And every time you Google something about Trump, it's going to show you all the negative. You Google about Kamala Harris, it's going to show you all the positive. And just by doing that, for the casual voter, they can change the vote by a significant percentage.
It's insane. And also the listening thing,
Nuts.
It's like when I ran into a meta engineer when I was on the road at a hotel. He was like, "Oh, I'm a fan," and we just started talking. And I was like, "Hey, man," because we had just talked I was with my tour crew about this is so fucking just the thing you keep going. This is so weird that we were having this conversation, and then it's right here. Like it's in my algorithm now, and then also I'm getting emails about this.
Very strange.
So strange. And then we did like an experiment. I was like, all right, let's just keep talking about Lamborghinis. Let's just keep talking about them. And we just kept talking about them in this conversation with our phones out. And then, I don't know, 2 hours later, we were all sharing, like, look at my thing. It's just like my algorithm now has Lamborghinis. And I got an email about a Lamborghini. It's so, and he goes, well, we listen. Right. And I go, well, yeah, I mean, I figure I know that we all kind of talk about it, but it's weird to have you confirm it,
Did he say they listen when the app is open?
It didn't go that far. He was just like, well, we listen to you.
Have you ever done an experiment where all your apps are closed and you just start talking about something and see if Google picks that up? Because that would be interesting. We should do that right now.
Okay.
Okay, what should we talk about? What would be a good thing?
Let's see.
Let me make sure that all my shit is closed. I'm going to close everything.
Close.
What would be a good thing to talk about that would find out? Let's go something that we don't ever look up.
Yeah, something that's not on our radar.
High school baseball.
High school baseball is definitely not something I'm interested in.
Right.
And yeah.
So you don't talk about high school baseball.
I never talk about high school baseball.
High school baseball is so important. Because high school baseball teaches you teamwork.
It does.
And it teaches you how to perform together with friends. You develop camaraderie. You learn how to compete.
And high school baseball really is the minor leagues of the minor leagues. Because if you thrive in high school baseball and you're legit a good high school baseball player, then you go to college. You go to college.
And then you can go
into the minors, and you could even.
Next thing you know, you're in the fucking Dodgers.
Yeah.
And you're balling. And you're driving a Lamborghini.
And you're driving a yellow Lamborghini.
Okay, now let's see.
Yeah.
How much time do you think it takes before
I think it takes a
high
little
school
more.
baseball?
I think you should.
I just want to bring up high school baseball.
High school baseball.
High school baseball.
I think
high school baseball results.
And also, it's like when you think about high school baseball, you realize that pitching at that level, you're a real outlier if you get above 90 miles an hour, because there's some high school kids that can pitch like 80, 85. When you start getting high school kids pitching above 90, you're talking about an elite level, a kid with a lot
big
of
old
potential.
fella, long ass arms.
He's got that, he's torque. He's got the technique down.
That whip.
Yeah.
Those dudes can whip that ball.
They sure can.
What is the fastest anyone's ever thrown a fastball?
That's a great question. I mean,
let's guess.
Definitely. Okay, that's a good guess. And I definitely don't know. I know the real baseball fans are going to be like, fucking idiot. But I'm going to guess 112. Is that crazy?
I was going to say 118.
Okay.
That's just a wild guess, though.
Is this going to be the...
What do you think it is, Jamie? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, sort of.
Is this going to be the highest in a game or just the highest?
Highest ever. Like the fastest. There must be like, who's the fastest?
Because I bet the guy who's the best ever or fastest ever isn't the best.
The best.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably not the most accurate.
Like it's just like in tennis.
Yeah.
The craziest speed ever on a serve is not from Federer.
Right. Like a guy with the hardest punch is not necessarily the best fighter.
Exactly.
So what is? Let's take a guess.
That's a better. I mean, you brought up a good point. So I was trying to really erase like in Major League Baseball from the search, if I could.
What's the fastest pitch ever thrown?
Fastest in Major League Baseball, it's 105.8.
What about in like the world record for the fastest ball ever thrown? There's got to be competitions, right? Like they have those golf competitions where dudes just drive the ball.
1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you could throw a fastball, you would just be in the major leagues.
That's true. That's
They
true.
would pay you a
They
lot
would
of
just
money for
figure
that.
out a way to get you over the plate.
Yep.
Yeah.
You only have to do it like 10 times, and you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So 105? Is that what it was?
5.8. Yeah, there's one guy has done it a bunch of times at 105, and a few people have joined him in the 105, but no one's cracked 106.
That must be so fast coming at you.
It's terrifying. You ever look at the like
From an umpire's perspective?
No, but I'm saying, I mean, but if you look at tennis, the high level serve speeds,
What are their speeds?
We're talking like into the 130s.
Really?
Yeah. Like there's probably a guy who's probably done 140.
All right, I'm opening up Google to see if we get any high school baseball. Come on, Google. Don't you disappoint me.
163 for fastest.
What?
Jesus
What?
Christ.
Fastest serve, 163?
Fuck.
Yeah, and John Eisner.
Yeah, Eisner's
is
6'10".
157.
Bro, that's bananas.
He's 6'10".
So far, it's just wolves in MMA. So
See.
I think you got to give that about 30 minutes to an hour and then check again.
What do I have? I got chiropractors, Italian women's feet, people.
I got the debate. I got upcoming fights.
I got some
Canelo Alvarez,
Connor,
Sugar Sean O'Malley, and Merab Dwabishvili.
watches,
Cybertruck, baseball.
But you know what'd be interesting though? Is you check back in an hour.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep checking back for high school baseball. And if high school baseball, well, now I'm cheating because I got Google open. I'm going to shut it now. We'll see. We'll see if they get me.
Okay.
I should have come up with a product instead of high school baseball.
Product's a good idea.
Like
I know.
Lamborghini's a product. They're going to try to sell you the
Yeah.
product. That would be a better move.
There you go.
I should have had a product.
What
would be the product? But it has to. I want it to be a product that I wouldn't ordinarily search. That's why I said high school baseball.
Right.
Like, what's a product that I wouldn't search?
Have you searched humidors?
No. Humidors. That's a good one.
Cigar humidor?
Cigar humidor.
Yeah.
Cigar humidors. What are the best ones?
Yeah.
Cigar humidors. What's the difference?
There's so many sizes. And
Are there some that are too crazy and it's just overkill? And there's some. What's the best wood for a cigar humidor?
One of my neighbors built a room. Humidor.
He's a nut.
He
Trying to get away from his wife.
He built like a store.
He's trying to
house.
hide. He's trying to hide from
Crazy.
his wife.
It's awesome.
He's hiding.
I love it.
He's
It's
like,
fucking
I
awesome.
don't want to do
dude.
this anymore. I'm in there just. It's women repellent.
Yeah, it kind of. It's
You
so
know?
funny. Yeah, no woman's ever like,
Yeah, they hate it. They think it stinks.
It's so funny.
They hate it when it's outside. Like, oh, that guy across the street's got a cigar.
So nice
Ugh.
to start. You know what I did yesterday?
one?
I
Let's
yeah,
go. Come on,
sure.
bud.
I had a mushroom gummy.
Ooh,
It was so good.
just a light one.
Yeah,
Yeah, just something.
it was nice.
Shouldn't that be legal, Tommy Buns?
Is it not?
I mean, it kind of is. Depends on the mushroom. I take a lot of functional mushrooms. Like
Yeah.
over the last 6 months or something. So I've been taking Reiki and cordyceps and
I got to get you one of these though. They're
Yeah?
really good, smooth, very nice. I'm also like a bit naive as I haven't partaken that much
Yeah.
before, so I did mine like before bed.
Oh, no.
And then I put like an eye mask on, and I was like,
You
just
saw some
looking.
things.
Oh yeah, seeing all kinds of shit. And then it's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I got to take something else so I can go to bed.
Well, when I get riled up late at night, I always feel like an idiot because I was like, I've just ruined my sleep.
Yeah, that's
If
what
I'm
I didn't like.
late at night and I've got too many crazy ideas and it starts freaking me out, it just ruins your sleep. And
Yeah.
then next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, you're in bed.
It fucked me up. I know it was just my own ignorance.
And then if you have a podcast the next day, you got baggy eyes, you look like shit, and your brain is not working so great. Oh, by the way, one of the best supplements for performance, mental performance, when you are missing sleep is creatine.
Really, like
Yeah.
creatine, like the workout supplement.
Yeah. The creatine, the workout supplement, it's really good for workouts, but it's also really good for cognitive function.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Never
well,
heard
if
that.
you think about it, what creatine does, like Google what creatine does so I don't fuck this up, but what I think it does essentially is it allows your body to hold on to more water.
Yeah.
There's more water in the muscles, so it increases muscle volume and it helps. Okay, here, what does it say? Creatine is a
What?
compound body naturally get it from protein-rich foods. It supplies energy to your muscles and may also promote brain health. Many people take creatine supplements to increase strength, improve performance, and help. What happened? What'd you just do?
Just
Yeah, but he
widened it.
changed it. I was reading it. Okay. Increase strength, improve performance, and help keep their minds sharp.
I've never heard this.
But the recent study was the positive effects of creatine on people that are sleep deprived. It
Interesting.
says an increased energy supply to neurons in the brain, which may help with mood and thinking. So it does something with water.
That
Because
is
it makes you gain a little weight from it. That I think you're storing more water
so. You have a bad night of sleep. A scoop
the
of
next
creatine
day. Yeah,
is
but I
like-
take it every day anyway. I've been taking it every day anyway for like the past 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, it makes a difference. It really does. It
Interesting.
makes a difference in your workouts. But what I think, I try to take as many things as possible that are good for cognitive performance. You know, obviously, like doing a podcast, you need that. Increased water. Here it is. Creatine is an osmotically active substance. Thus, any increase in the body's CR content, so creatine content, should result in increased water retention and consequent gains in body mass.
Well, I knew about the water retention and that it was a verified to have like it's one of the supplements that you can count on for gains.
Yes.
Like it's.
Yeah,
but
it works.
I'd never heard about the brain aspect of it ever.
Yeah, that's more recent. They've been talking about that. It's been used as a muscle supplement since like the 90s. Or been popular since the 90s. Jamie, what does it say about, because there was some sort of a study about creatine supplementation to enhance performance with sleep deprivation? Because there was this study that was showing that, your cognitive performance when you just have like 4 or 5 hours sleep drops off a cliff. I notice it in a big
1,000%.
way. I'm just like, it's 70% of like my normal. A single high dose of creatine can temporarily improve cognitive performance during sleep deprivation. This is due to creatine's ability to prevent a drop in pH level, improve processing speed, increase intercellular energy consumption, and increase high extracellular creatine availability. Isn't that awesome?
That is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I really had no clue about this.
Yeah.
I had
take
a
it every day.
really poor night's sleep like a month or so ago, and I was going into my writer's room on my show. And that's to me, like when you go, what's the worst things about it when you have bad sleep? Are A, physically, like your workouts suck. Like it's really rough when you have poor sleep. But mentally, I hate doing a show on poor sleep. And to go into a writer's room where you're supposed to be,
Fast,
creative.
creative.
We're talking about all the stories, and I took a stimulant.
Dun, dun, dun.
Holy shit. It was like I slept fucking 12 hours. I couldn't believe it.
Which one did you take?
Vyvanse.
Yeah.
Holy.
Nice. You like it?
Oh my God. I was like, can I get some more? And the person was like, I'm not supposed to give you this. This is I was like, it was amazing.
I think you have ADD.
Yeah.
Or ADHD, whatever the fuck it is.
Confirmed.
I think so.
But I couldn't.
I think we both have it. We both need Vyvanse, whatever it is.
It's fucking awesome.
Isn't that the guy who's the vice president under Trump? No, it's
JD Vance.
JD Vance.
Yeah. JD Vance, the creator of Vyvanse. I couldn't believe though how I was really dragging. I was like on one of those, like I slept 3.5, 4 hours.
And all of a sudden, bam.
I mean, firing on all cylinders. Like
Really?
it was like I had a great night's sleep.
Really?
I could not.
What's the
believe
come down like?
Not that bad.
Really?
No, it was. Apparently, that's one of the.
Don't sell me on this. Don't do it.
The big differences between is that the crash from Adderall. I never did Adderall. I never had it, but like people talk about the post Adderall crash. But the Vyvanse, I was like, yeah, I feel
They got
fine.
it nailed.
Yeah,
These motherfuckers.
They fucking nailed it. Dude.
These motherfuckers.
And yeah, I'm
Yo, there's a lot of people out there just churning and grinding all day on amphetamines.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
I can't believe I'm bringing it up again, but that book over there, Blitzed, is a Norman Ohler book about the Nazis during the Blitzkrieg campaign. They were all on meth.
All of them, yeah. And then, a lot of people don't. I talk about it on stage, but the people don't know that Hitler was on a lot of cocaine too.
Oh, Hitler was on a lot of oxycodone too.
Yeah, but the coke part was always like, to me, the thing that I was like, wait, what? And it was his doctor that was giving it to him.
That's what that book's all about.
It's really fascinating how the whole army was all methed out.
Oh yeah, and they would give more meth to the people that were on the front lines, like the tank guys. They got the most meth.
Yeah,
Just fucking meth them up.
well, there's that
Makes sense.
People on meth. What is it? People on meth love confrontation. You know, like they are
Aggressive.
yeah, they seek out confrontation. So I remember I talked to Dr. Drew one time. He goes, people on cocaine run from the cops, and people on meth run towards the cops.
Really?
Yeah. So he's like, you get people like a really like serious coke problem. They see a uniform and they bolt.
Whoa.
And then people on meth, like when when dealing with like real meth up people, they see cops and they're like, "What's up, bitch?" And they're like, they want confrontation with uniforms. Like they just seek it out. That's fucking what
Did
they
you see
do.
that football player get pulled over?
Yeah, man, that was fucking wild.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the way to the Dolphins game.
It's interesting. He just didn't want to roll his window down.
I know. I understand. Like, there's like a lot of people weighing in on the nuances of this whole thing because it's layered. It's not, but it's like, I mean, look, I'll never have Tyreek Hill's experience. Like as being a black guy in America and
In a McLaren.
and I don't know what it's like to get pulled over by cops. My whole thing with cops, if I get pulled over, I always try to be like,
yes, sir.
10 and 2, yes, sir. Like,
yes, sir.
Now people are right. It's not against the law to not be like that. You're allowed to be like, whatever. Hurry up and fucking figure this out. You can do that, but I just feel like it's not de-escalating things.
Right.
But then those cops were fucking hot with like, you could tell. The one in particular felt like to me watching it that he had felt maybe humiliated by also either somebody he recognized or just somebody with wealth who is feeling entitled, that he wanted to show the other cops that like, I don't take any shit, which I feel like it's a human emotion, but then
but you can't have that human emotion as a cop.
you can't
act on it for sure.
You can't just fucking throw somebody
to the ground and cuff them as if they're a dangerous criminal.
like he was a violent offender.
Right.
Like, it was really fucking nuts.
It is nuts. The whole thing's nuts. It's nuts, but it's nuts both ways, right? It's like roll the window down. Just
Roll the window down is
say
obvious.
yes, sir.
I don't know what
give your driver's license. You're speeding. You're going 103 miles an hour. What are they alleging?
I don't know what his issue was, but he just didn't feel like
It's
it.
a fun car.
That's a fucking fun
That's
car.
a fun car,
Is
bro.
that a 765?
I don't know what it is. I don't know anything about McLarens, but it's
They're
fucking
so
dope.
rad.
I know. I remember when you were reviewing one, when you had that car thing you were doing for a while.
Yeah, dude, they were giving me. I've driven a lot of the lineup. I've driven the 600 LT.
How come you never got one?
720. I don't know. I should get one. I just drove the new 750S. It's fucking phenomenal.
But they're making cars that just a rich knucklehead can buy that has the most insane speed and power.
I remember when they sent. I've driven, like I said, a lot of the lineup. When I drove the 765 LT, I remember talking to, at the time he was with McLaren in F1, Daniel Ricciardo, and I was like, dude, I just drove this fucking thing, and I've been driven a lot of cars. I've never been more scared of what could happen in a car. I was driving down the 110, and we were doing like 70, and it was just open road, and I had somebody in the passenger seat, and he was like, punch it. And I mean, in the blink of an eye, we're going 130, and it's just like, it's so fast and so responsive, the slightest input. And I was like, it was a scary feeling where I go, I want to hand this in, like I want to turn this in right now, and I also want to order one. Like the both things were like, I know this is bad for me.
Yeah.
But can I get some more Vyvanse? Because this is fucking pretty cool. Like that's what it felt like. It was terrifying and seductive. But the conversation that I had with him, I was like, it's crazy that you can just buy this.
Yeah.
And there's no skill requirement associated. And he and other automotive journalists were like, oh yeah, you should definitely have to prove something to drive something like this.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's
Or like think about the Corvette ZR1. So that has an even lower bar to entry, right? That's like $200,000, right? What's a ZR1, the new one?
I don't know. I don't know the price on that.
But that thing's insanity. That's like
Insanity.
1,100 horsepower, right?
They're really crazy. Yeah.
Insane. Rear-wheel drive car,
And all the manufacturers keep getting crazier
and crazier and crazier.
And then you get to the electric stuff.
Yeah.
And it's also like, it's a missile,
1,064. So it's almost 1,100 horsepower. Fucking bananas. That's so much power for a car. It used to be if a car had 400 horsepower. Like I remember I got a Porsche Turbo in like 2003. And it was 420 horsepower. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's a bonkers number.
It was crazy back then.
What does this go for?
Just Google MSRP for ZR1. Well, you really can't get one. You have to have an allocation, right? There's probably. Is that one? One for sale?
That's the 3.0.
129. Oh, it's an 06?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Z06. Yeah, Z06 is pretty fucking incredible too. So that's 129. So
there you go.
The ZR1's
You're
probably,
right.
200 grand. $200,000 Corvette, while others believe that it will start for much less than that. Oh, so they haven't really got the price out there yet. Wow.
Yeah, that 765 is like 400. It's
400 grand, so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, then you got that Hennessy, that Venom thing. That's $3 million.
Yeah.
It's like
you get
what?
like Koenigseggs, Paganis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you seen that Bugatti that has all of its instrumentation is all mechanical, like a beautiful watch, and the steering wheel turns around the gauge cluster, so the gauge cluster maintains in the center of the wheel, and your steering wheel turns around it and it never moves?
No.
It's fucking magnificent.
And what is this in?
A Bugatti.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even a Bugatti guy, because
Yeah.
Bugatti to me is like, look at my dick.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Bugatti, you know? But look at that fucking thing.
Yeah, no, they're sexy.
See if you can
pieces of
find
art.
the gauge
V16.
cluster, because the gauge cluster is just complete insanity. Scroll up towards so they get to the interior. I know they have to. There it is. They're going to show it. So that's the gauge cluster.
Oh.
So the steering wheel spins around that stuff.
Wow.
So all that stuff sits behind the wheel, and it's all mechanical clocks. Like, look at it.
Yeah,
it's digital and mechanical at the same
he's
time.
going over it here, yeah.
I mean, it is just a piece of art.
And this is definitely like $3.5 million.
Oh, crazy money.
Yeah.
If you could get one, right? It's
Right.
probably $5 million, but you probably can't even get 3.8 million pounds, or is that pounds or euros?
Where are
What is
we?
that little thing, squiggly thing?
That's pounds.
Pounds. So what is 3.8 million
I
pounds?
mean, it's
in
over $4
bucks?
million.
It's an incredible car. But I mean, you basically have a house. You're driving around a fucking house.
That's too crazy.
And look at that little touch screen pops up. Look at that screen. Whee. Look at it spins around, says Bugatti.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby. Why are you laughing?
It's like, why does it have to spin around? Why didn't it just come out the way it
Because
needs
it's
to?
like, look at my
Yeah,
dick.
it's a total look at my dick.
It's a big old Italian dick. Hey,
Yeah.
Joey, look at my dick. It's incredible.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
The technology is just, I mean, it's like, what will be around in 20 years? Because I got to say, when Bugatti, Pagani, and Koenigsegg, when they do these things, I always think like this is outrageous.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, it's so cool that you have a spaceship. Like that's basically getting into.
It's a ground ship.
Yeah.
Do you know Sam Altman? He's always the head of OpenAI.
Yeah.
He's always kind of said, I'm not doing this for money. I don't make any money. And they just busted him in a $4 million Koenigsegg.
They did?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
You see if you can find that car, the video of him in that car. Oh, I don't need money. But money, I'm not even interested in money. He's driving around a $4 million Koenigsegg.
God.
Look at it.
Oh,
See,
my God.
Go back to the beginning so you can see him get in it. Does it show him get in it? No. That's him in his fucking... Yeah. Elon was mocking him. Look at that. Got a $4 million car. There he is. Hi, busted.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. I think you like money. Look, you don't buy one of those unless you really want to get rich.
Yeah. And you also want everyone to know how fucking rich
You want
are.
everyone to know how rich, and
Yeah.
you're rich right now enough. I don't have a $4 million car. I wouldn't drive that. I'd be freaked out. I can't drive. I can't park it anywhere. What am I going to do?
It's
That's
insane.
crazy.
It's insane.
So that means he's got way more money than me. It's like, how much money you get? How much money you making?
How
What are you
much?
doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing that you're driving a $4 million car? That's so crazy. And you're telling everybody you're not trying to make money? I'm not interested in money. If you're not interested in money, you get a Mercedes. You get a nice S-Class,
Sure.
and people get mad at you. You really want people to not get mad at you? Get a Lexus. Get an LS 500, cruise around in style.
Yeah.
No one's going to get mad at you.
People, they're fine with that.
You have a $4 million car.
Hypercar.
And you're involved in artificial intelligence, and it's supposed to be open AI, and then all of a sudden became a private company. There's like a lot of weirdness with like what happened with the money? Do you know?
Yeah, the amount. Oh,
Sam Altman car collection. He's got a McLaren
shit.
F1. 2 McLarens.
He's got the F1.
He's got some cheddar. Well, he probably already had a bunch of money already, right? Like, so
Right.
how did he come into open AI?
Yeah, he says he's worth over $2 billion.
Well, there you go. So he's got a $4 million car. That's why.
He's got $2 billion.
Him and his husband, his partner.
Shazam!
Yeah, that checks out.
Cheddar. And also disposable income because he ain't making no kids.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go, dude.
$4 million car.
Yeah,
I don't want money. This money's not important to me.
Yeah, I don't like it.
What did Elon say about it? Because it was something about Elon mocking him. It's like, because Elon was a part of OpenAI in the beginning, but then he was like, "Hey, this isn't so open." Like,
Right.
What's going on here?
And he brought up the threat that this is.
Elon mocks open. What is he saying? How's he mocking him? Oh, what does it say? OpenAI drive one of those expensive cars. How did OpenAI become a for-profit business when it was a non-profit?
Great
Elon
question.
says, great question. But also, if this guy was already a billionaire, so was he a billionaire before OpenAI?
This was probably separate from. I remember when that happened on Twitter. I just think someone's adding that in with this video of him in the car.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, those
Even though
dirty
it's around the
bitches.
same time.
What's the
Just making a point.
You
though.
sure that wasn't quoting the actual video?
It could have been, but I don't
It might
think
be.
so.
It might be.
What's the origin of his money?
That's a good question. What's the origin of Sam Altman's wealth? Where did he make all the cheddar? Well, he's got a $4 million car.
Billions.
$4 million car is also like, look at my dick.
Yeah, big time.
It's just like the Bugatti. Like,
It's a huge
look
flex.
at my dick.
Yeah.
According just the quick search says various investments through his venture capital firm,
Yeah.
including
So he's balling.
Airbnb, Stripe.
Oh, Airbnb was a big one for him.
So he's balling.
Yeah.
He was already balling. So don't be hating, kids.
That's fine.
The guy's making it. He's out there rocking in the free world.
Fucking rad.
Yeah. The thing about those cars are really fun, but you know what my most fun car to drive is? Actually, the most engaging car is my little air-cooled 964. That Porsche RS America. It's not the
red one?
fastest. Yep.
Yeah.
Not the fastest by
I
any
know.
stretch of the imagination. It's slow compared to...
My favorite is my slowest too.
Which
my
one?
GT4.
Yeah.
It has that Damon upgrade.
Yeah,
which
but
I
that
love.
car's way faster than my car.
But it's
That car's pretty fucking fast.
it's pretty fast, but it's not like I think everything else I have is almost faster than it.
So it's just engaging.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it puts the biggest smile on my face.
Right.
It's very fun.
Yeah, that's like my white car, the GG3 RS, the Sharkworks car.
yes.
Same kind of thing. It's just real raw. But they're not as raw as that little red car. That little red car is like you're on an awesome ride at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Where you're in control. You feel everything.
Yeah.
No power steering. There's like power assisted brakes. There's no air conditioning, no heat, no nothing. Light as fuck. 300 horsepower.
And it's just a
And
thrill.
it's just and it just makes your whole body tingle.
Yeah.
It's like exciting.
That is to me the most fun thing to
Doesn't
do.
even you don't have to be going fast. That's
No.
what's crazy. Merging on the highway, getting to 65 miles an hour is a fucking thrill.
Yeah.
Whereas
That's the
like in the
best.
Tesla, it's like whoosh,
Yeah.
it's just no sound. Whoosh, all of a sudden you're going 70. You
Mm-hmm.
don't even notice it. That car's like
Problem with some of these like faster cars that I have and that exist is that a lot of times when you take them out, you're like, yeah, I'm not really getting to drive this thing.
right.
You know, because if you're going 75
Right.
and you're
You
like,
have to go
well,
to a track.
You have to.
Yeah, you
Like,
have
to
to.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. And how often do you do that?
That's the fucking thing is that like you tell yourself that we've been there together
Yeah.
and you're like, I want to do this all the time.
Well, let's
You
do it
just-
next month.
It's hard to do.
Let's
man.
definitely do. Well, next month we probably can't because next month is F1. But after F1's out.
After F1.
Yeah, after F1's, we'll do another day. The ultimate baller move. The ultimate. Like all these guys, they want to get fucking chateaus in France and Pole. This is the ultimate baller move. You get a giant piece of land that's flat, and you put yourself a fucking racetrack on it, and let's go.
Somebody did this in Austin.
Let's go.
It's for sale, I think.
What?
Yeah, somebody in the greater Austin area.
Don't tell me
Yeah,
this.
I swear to God.
Don't tell me this. Don't do this.
And then a billionaire in Japan just built one that
Now you're talking.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
he built a track that you can get a membership at. At his track. But
Oh,
it's
that's
private.
pretty dope.
That's pretty fucking cool.
That's a good move. So if you know some cool car people, you can hang out together.
Yeah, they
You
have
don't want to be
that-
alone on your track going, nobody saw my lap time.
Cali has that out in like Indigo.
Oh, yeah?
that area. It's a private, like a really nice track that
would
has
be
it has
so
like a
addictive.
country club. It has a restaurant and you can house your cars there.
That'd be so addictive.
I know.
So addictive.
I know.
Even just in a Miata. Just going around in something fun, small.
Miatas are amazing for the track. Yeah.
Right. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not about how fast you go. It's about how much fun it is to go fast. Mm-hmm. Like there's cars that go like my Tesla. It's the best example. It goes way faster than anything else I own. But it's not as fun.
No.
There's a fun factor to the roar of the engine,
Definitely.
the feeling of the tires, the shifting the gears yourself, all of it. The fun part.
The fun is just that's the joy of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you keep getting them.
And everybody today is chasing numbers. They're all chasing Nürburgring times and 0 to 60s and quarter miles.
Yeah, and it makes you lose sight of like the real thrill of driving.
It's also dangerous for everybody on the street. You got these Vivanced up kids out there with a fucking ZR1. Ah!
Yeah,
There's a replica of the Istanbul F1 track in Texas, and it's for sale. Holy shit.
Isn't that crazy?
Guy's got an F1 track in his fucking yard.
Isn't that nuts?
That's
man?
nuts.
And I feel like it's very Texas.
Where is
like,
that?
This is like the state where you.
That
could
looks
do
like
that.
it's down by the ocean.
It's in Amarillo.
Scroll up a little so I can see that image better. Yeah, is that the ocean in the back? No. What's that blue shit?
I think that's just fields.
Oklahoma.
If it says it's Amarillo, it's all the way up near Oklahoma.
Oh, is that where Amarillo is?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know where Amarillo is.
It's in the top, tip top.
50-acre complex for sale. Click on it. How much? For a reasonable price,
Let's go,
it says.
Joe. Let's go.
Yeah, in the Panhandle.
$2 million
bro.
bucks. Hang on. For real? Hang on. This thing just got juicy. How far is that drive? Find out how far that
5
drive is.
hours.
How far is that flight?
20 minutes.
There you go.
Pretty quick.
Let's go.
Just ship cars there once and just house them.
Don't make me do this.
Come on, dude. Come
Well,
on.
I want to get a ranch. I've been talking about getting a ranch for
There's
quite a
one
while.
for sale right there.
But I want a different kind of ranch.
no, you don't. You want
I
that
want a
one.
survival ranch.
Hey, it's right there.
No.
Survival right on the outside.
That's not survival
It
ranch.
is.
That's
It's acres and acres, man. This is a small portion.
I had Chris
of it.
Harris on the other day.
Yeah.
Pretty close
I'd
to the
love that
airport,
dude.
too.
Yeah, that dude can
Next to the
drive.
airport.
If we had a track, there's an airport right next to it?
Yep.
God damn it. If we had a track like real close and
Yeah.
we could take Chris Harris out, how much fun would that be?
Awesome. That dude's
Yeah.
so fucking great.
Yeah.
I love watching him drive too. He's fucking
He
fantastic.
loves cars, man.
Yeah.
When you're around like someone who really loves cars, he
Yeah.
loves all kinds of cars too.
Yeah.
You know, he loves the
He
intricacies.
knows his shit.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
watching his videos.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah. Fun dude. He got fucked over on that whole Top Gear deal.
He did?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it.
Top Gear story, how it ended, is horrible. Ended due to an accident. He apparently had gone to the producer saying, "We have to stop pushing this. Someone's gonna get hurt or killed," and then someone got hurt real bad. But
And
he's
they
a
were like-
real big guy though, and he got fucked up from this. Flipped over a 3-wheeler and got really fucked up, but survived. And then they killed the show.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
After he'd kind of warned them
Mm-hmm.
about it.
He also experienced a shit ton of online hate because he was replacing Jeremy Clarkson. So everybody fucking hated him. But meanwhile, he's like the best auto journalist there is. He's so
fantastic.
fun. He's such a good guy. And people are mad that he's not Jeremy Clarkson. Like, hey, Jeremy Clarkson's still on the air, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Go over to the Amazon, get
And
the
watch
Jeremy
his show,
Clarkson.
yeah.
It's great. Go
Yeah.
watch that too, you
Yeah.
fucking morons.
No, that's too bad. I think Chris does great work. I love watching him review stuff, and you can tell like not only is he skilled when he's on track, but that he's genuinely having a good time. You can tell he loves it.
Oh, he's smiling and laughing. He's going to do more of his own stuff And
Good.
Him and I we were talking about that. I was encouraging that. I was like, you really need to be doing your own thing. Like you're so good at automotive journalists. You're so fun. People love watching you. You should be doing your own show online. You shouldn't be dealing with other people. There's no need for that.
Sure.
And also like the Top Gear is a great show and everything like that. But they all want to do like crazy stunts. Like they threw a car off the side of a bridge with a bungee cord attached to it. Like why?
Yeah,
Why?
They get to a point on all these shows
Yeah.
where it's just a producer pitching a segment.
And what we were saying was, for television, that's what people like.
Yeah.
But for the internet, like for YouTube, completely different audience.
Yeah.
Then you get enthusiasts. So like if you get the newest GT3 RS and Chris Harris is reviewing it, it'll have millions of views. Because people want to see a guy who can really fucking drive, who really loves cars and understands them, review the car. I'm like, that's where you're at your best, man.
1,000%.
For the enthusiasts, not for the casual dorks who wants to see a car go off a dam on a bungee cord.
Yeah, but I mean,
Fuck outta
also
here.
on those internet videos too, is the great thing is you get somebody like him gives you an authentic reaction to and they give you authentic critiques. They're like, you know what? They changed the seats on this new and it's not as good, or they'll talk about the suspension and they'll give you like the insight that if you're really thinking about getting that car, you go like, oh, maybe I want the previous generation. Like they give you real insight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he gives a lot of good criticisms of vehicle. Matt Farah does a great job with that too.
Matt does awesome with
Matt's
that.
awesome.
There's a couple other guys that do that stuff, the straight pipes.
Chris works with Singer. And, Singer is doing a turbo now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Oh, my God. There's a green one. He went to go to the factory and they're showing it. The attention to detail is so fucking incredible.
Singer #1, the very first one's here in Austin.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it in person, yeah.
What's it like in person?
Pretty cool. They're fucking, it's cool. It's a guy who has a few, and he's like, here's #1.
Damn,
that's fucking rad.
that's probably worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
See if you can find the Singer Turbo video with Chris Harris, because it's. I just want to see the green one, and and it's like it looks kind of like an old 911 Turbo.
Or is it that?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Ooh. That's it. Yeah, that's it. But it looks kind of like an old 911 Turbo, but then when you see the details of it, you're like, oh.
They do an awesome job.
This is
dude.
way better than a
They're
regular.
fucking gorgeous.
Way better than a regular. See if you can find the video. Because the video is incredible, dude. No, that's the video of his original car. This is how I felt. Click that real quick. Because that was before Singer. He had this car made, and this is, oh no, this is Singer. Oh, okay, this is this is a different one. This is just how many years ago is this?
Like a year.
22. It
Okay,
says.
this is the dynamics and lightweight study one. This is the crazy $3 million Singer.
Oh my God.
This one's different. This one's not a turbo. This is their super lightweight, incredible car. This car is incredible.
That's Chris driving, right? He
Yeah.
always.
Oh yeah.
He fucking nails it.
But this car is crazy, crazy expensive.
Yeah, $3 million.
Yeah, but it's immaculate. Immaculate. Singer turbos. I'll put in turbo. Singer turbo green. Go to videos. Click on videos. And go to recent. Okay, right there. Where it says more than 10 years. Click that. There you go. Bam. Okay, this is it. So look at that fucking thing. So this is the turbo. So it looks kind of like a 911 turbo from like whatever year that would be, like 1980 or whatever the fuck it was. But it's way more smooth and polished and refined, and it just, when you see it parked and still, it's just amazing. Like their attention to detail is just off the fucking charts, man.
Yeah.
Like this, go back so you can see. So that's the car. So they're just going over all the things that they massaged and changed on the car, and all the details where you get a sense. There he is. You get a sense of what it looks like. Look at that thing.
That
Pause right
is
there.
fucking rad.
Cars don't get prettier. They just
No.
get different. They don't get prettier than that. They just get different. And then that dark, cool metallic green. Like, look at that thing.
I would get talked into this.
Yeah.
Right in this moment, if they were like, and then you want it, and be like, yeah.
How much do you think that fucker cost? Because that's not as much as the DLR
No, it's not. I think, I don't know. You're
or
probably
DLS.
You get. I mean, there's so much customization involved in it, though.
right? Probably $1 million.
That or just under, maybe,
Yeah.
around there. I think they can make these, from what I remember, for a little bit less than what they were making because they were just doing 964s before, I think, right? That they can make these.
That's not a 964 chassis? They don't start with a 964?
On the turbo? I don't know.
I
But
don't
I'm
know.
saying on the the Singers were all just one model before.
Right.
Those were more expensive for them to just even produce.
Singer DLS turbo. Oh, boy. So starts as a 964, but this is a DLS turbo.
That's a different one.
That's a different one. Look how sick that thing looks. That is another level. That's the dynamic lightweight study Porsche turbo, which is bananas. And that doesn't look anything like anything that's ever existed before.
No, and
that's the difference.
Definitely more expensive.
Oh yeah,
But the one we were just looking at, I think you could produce those.
Look
for a
at
little
that
less.
thing. That's insane looking. Oh my God, that thing's insane looking.
Are you gonna make a phone call after
No,
this?
no, get away from me. There's like a line where I won't cross.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the line?
That's the line.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That looks fucking amazing.
Insane. But you start getting into $1 million cars, like, what are we doing?
That's okay.
What the fuck are we doing here?
Fine.
Yeah,
It's not $3
it's just
million.
no. That's true. It's not a Bugatti. It's also a different kind of thing than a look at my dick. You know, it's more of like, oh, you know cars.
You're a passionate guy.
Yeah, you know what the fuck gets the wheel spinning.
That's fucking.
I just love that
gorgeous.
there's people like there, like the Gunther Works guy. Like, there's people out there making those things.
So fucking
Yeah,
cool.
I just love that there's someone who just goes so hard.
A roof.
Yeah,
I wanna. Get,
they're not even really Porsches, right?
I don't know. I mean,
like, they can't even really call them a Porsche. It's
they
like
call
a
them
roof.
roofs. Yeah,
But it looks exactly like a Porsche. Like, what is this?
I definitely want to see what it's like.
Like, go to Roof's website, RUF. When you see like the new one that they have, that crazy, it's water cooled, right? But it looks like an air cooled car, right?
Yeah, I've never been in one. I've just seen
Yeah.
photos and videos and stuff, and it makes you go like, "What's this like?" I mean, I want.
Must be insane.
Yeah.
And there's these cars like that are just like completely. Look at that. Whoa. That's a 993 turbo base, and so that's their Turbo R that they make. Look at that fucking thing. So this is the one. These are the ones that are weird. The ones that aren't like scroll back up. Rough car. So that one. So CTR anniversary. So that one I don't think is a Porsche.
Really?
I don't think it starts off as a Porsche. I think it's all their shit.
And it just makes it look like.
It looks exactly like a Porsche, but I don't believe it has. I think it's a new car. See, Monaco, completely developed by Roof, rather. Its type of aviation is CTR, reminiscent of the legendary Yellowbird. So the Yellowbird was a Porsche. There was a Roof Yellowbird from the 80s. Remember that one, that Porsche one that was crazy? But this is not really a Porsche. This is a Roof car that they make.
That just looks.
They're basically ripping off Porsche.
Really?
Yeah. I mean.
But what
it
about
looks
the other?
exactly
The
like
other
it.
ones are modified.
Exactly.
Porsches.
The other one, that one was a 993. That was they take the base 993 and they juice it up. But this one, I think, is entirely developed by them.
Wow.
Yeah.
It looks
It's supposed to be
fucking awesome.
madness. Supposed to be total madness.
Roof, holler at me, man.
Completely redesigned. Yeah.
That's fucking
scroll up so I can see
badass.
an image of the front. Look at that fucking thing. Whoa.
So fucking cool.
And look how fat the tires are. That thing has some grip.
Yeah, you get it too. Why you encounter these people with just like nothing but Porsches.
Yeah.
It's just so. There's something about them. You just
Yeah.
go. What about the other one that you guys make?
Yeah.
Like you just kind of want to keep going.
Yeah, there's also something about the size of them, right? They're so small and compact that when you're in them, you feel like you're you feel like you're in a race car.
Yeah.
You're hunkered
And
in there.
There's something weird about, even though these get obviously very expensive, I've always felt like it's a more accessible to the world car than other supercars. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you see one parked. You can see a Porsche parked in a grocery store parking lot. And
Right.
like you're just like, oh, it's fucking rad. But you see a Lambo, and you're like, what the fuck is this person doing?
Right.
Like this
Look at
guy's
this
out of his
douchebag.
mind. Yeah, yeah. It just doesn't
you
feel
got
like
a
it
pink
fits.
Lambo with the HEB parking lot.
It's crazy.
Get out of
It's
here, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming out with your giant sunglasses on, looking for attention.
To wrap around.
You're just trying to get punched.
Sam and his fucking Koenigsegg.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. There's so many people that see people like that too, and they really want to smack them.
Yeah.
They see you with that thing, you're like, I just want to smack that guy, and it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, nobody has any like sympathy for you on the road if you're in something like that.
And you crash?
Ha ha, or like try to merge. People are like, fuck off.
you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You can't get in front of me, douchebag.
Yeah, 1000%.
You got to go somewhere?
No, I was just looking at what it was. Sorry.
Sorry. Addictive, man.
I know.
Things,
Messages.
they're addictive. You ever thought of like going to a flip phone?
Oh, Ari style?
Yeah.
Wasn't that Dana too?
Dana had it in the beginning.
Yeah.
He had a flip phone early on. But then it got to the point where, he has to manage the social media of the UFC. So he has to be able to look at things
that's right.
online.
Yeah.
And, they have...
He's saying your praises. We were with him in Vegas talking about you. Fucking guy loves you, man.
I love him too.
Yeah.
He's great. If it wasn't for him, that sport would not be what it is.
He told us the story about about him clearing out the New York offices.
Oh, yeah.
And he put it in the he's checking tapes.
Yeah.
And he sees you on Keenan Ivory Wayans, I think
Yeah,
he said.
that's what it was.
He was like, I need this fucking guy. Yeah.
It was crazy because in the beginning, I didn't even want to do it. When he was trying to get, because I had already worked for the UFC in the past. From 97 to 98, I did post-fight interviews, and I was like, I'm out. And then they bought it in 2001, and he was trying to talk me into working for them. I'm like, I don't want to work.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do this. But I would ask him, hey, have you ever watched K1? Do you guys watch Pride? Do you know about this guy? You ever see Funaki fight? Have you seen Hicks and Gracie? He's even better than Hoist. Like, we started having these conversations, and he was like, how much of this shit you watch? I was like, it's the only sport I know. I don't even know the rules to basketball. When they blow that whistle, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
That's hilarious.
I don't know any of the rules.
I told him the story about how when I would go with you on these weekends, and I'm like, just like as a fan of sports and broadcasting, I was like, so where's like your prep book? And you're like, it's all up here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're about to call 7 hours, and you said, there's nothing else up here cluttering my mind with other sports. I only know one sport.
Yeah. But that's true. I mean, I do watch fights. But when I watch fights, I don't have to like say, "Oh, this guy's got a great question mark." I already I know what he does. I know what that guy does.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I've seen him fight 100. But it really is true that I don't have any clutter in there.
Yeah, I believe it.
I don't have any football in there. I don't know what's going on with football.
Yeah.
What's an offside?
Yeah.
Why has he got a flag?
I know.
What's a down? Why is it first down now? What is happening? Oh, that guy got hurt. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a bad. Oh, he ran with the ball pretty far.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, and I don't want to know. I don't care. I can still enjoy it.
Sure.
I have room for a couple things in my head, like combat sports things, and I just smash them all together.
If you had to put something that interests you even somewhat outside of combat sports, MMA and all that, what sport would be like second? I mean, it's a distant second, but what would be the one where you're like, oh, I enjoy that?
Where a sport that I don't participate that I can watch?
Yeah. Any like that you would sit down and...
Outside of combat sports?
Yeah. If somebody had it on, you'd be like, all right, I'll watch some of this with you.
I maybe would be like, what's going on with cricket? What are you guys doing?
Cricket?
Yeah, I'd be like, what is that? What the hell's happening?
Really?
Why you got that paddle?
You'd be interested.
I'll tell you what I really liked watching is soccer. We went to the Austin professional soccer games.
game, yeah.
Soccer's legit. Here's one of the reasons why soccer's legit and why it's not going to become successful in America is because they don't take breaks. So there's no fucking commercial time.
Yeah.
There's no time to shove Taco Bell down your face.
They don't take any?
No breaks.
Really?
Nope. It goes for a certain amount of time. I forget how long a soccer match is.
But it's increased in its popularity tenfold here in the last decade.
I'm telling you, if you go to see it live, it's fucking...
I've been to multiple games.
Incredible, right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And the arena that they have here in Austin is amazing.
It's great. You don't realize that it's, compared to what we're used to for like American football stadiums.
Right.
It's small. It doesn't feel small because every seat in that house is fantastic.
Yep.
And it's great competition. We keep getting better players here. I mean, I was somebody who, I grew up not into soccer at all, and half my family was like, "What's wrong with you?" Because they're all South American,
right?
And they're
in
like,
Argentina, it's fucking huge, right?
Argentina, it's bigger than religion. It's just it is religion.
Nuts.
And I mean, my Peruvian cousins were all like, how do you not like soccer? And
the whole world loves it.
The whole world loves it. But I do think it's cool that in the last decade plus, first of all, we lived in a time with like some generational talent, with like Ronaldo and Messi and these guys, and it's like shifting now to Mbappe and these just incredible talents. So I think high level anything becomes interesting.
Yeah.
Like when I would watch the El Clásico, the Madrid Barcelona game at the height of these guys' club powers in the like 10 years ago. You're watching such a high stakes, high level game. You can have zero interest, and you're like, holy shit, this is so incredible. And I think that and Premier League stuff, kind of, it kind of drifted over to the point where we're like, hey, soccer's been played here forever. It's just they didn't have that same popularity. But this MLS stuff has continued to grow and grow. And people, I remember Saturday mornings during our football season, a lot of times you're putting it on now and you'll see soccer games like from the Premier League was on NBC for a while. I don't know if they still have that contract, but here you go. But like it just has, and they keep getting, better talent on the state side that I think we'll continue to see it become more popular here.
If you go see it live, you'll get hooked. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
the
MLS
I bet
games
tennis
are
is like that too.
Oh my God, I was on tour in Australia last year, and I got to see the Australian Open men's finals with Djokovic. Seeing that in person, there's also like not a bad seat in that place. It's a whole other thing. It made me go, okay, I want to go to all like the big. I want to go to Wimbledon. I want to go to
Really?
He was just incredible to see in person. Again, just somebody so talented at their sport that watching it live changed. I'd played tennis growing up, and like I've watched tennis tournaments, but live is everything. I mean, I've told people that about UFC too. It's like, it's cool to watch on TV, but it's so different in person. It's
especially with no commentary. You're just watching the actual violence. Like, oh my God,
it's
it
right
seems so
there.
real.
Yeah, and then you have a moment of like the sound of the crowd dies, and you hear and you're like, oh,
And
that's that
everybody
guy's
goes,
face. Oh yeah, it's like holy shit.
My favorite place to see fights is in the Apex Center, because the UFC Apex Center has no audience.
Yeah, so small.
It's incredible. And during COVID, that was the best thing about COVID for me.
How about the Sphere thing?
It's going to be nuts. That's this weekend.
I know.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I don't know what they're going to do. I know they have, I don't know if they're going to show the fights on the ceiling. So you know how they have video monitors in the studio where you always see with the video monitors are showing you the fights, so the people that
he told us what they're doing.
Can you say it?
I mean, I don't know. I assume we were on a podcast. It hasn't. I don't think it's been released, but you didn't know that.
Tell me.
Dude, he's like, it's a movie that's going to play about the history like this
of Mexican combat sports. I know about that. There's 6 of them. There's 6 different small films.
Yeah, okay. That's what he was telling us about. And he was just like, everything is authenticated, and like, and the crew that made it is Mexican. It's just like this huge Mexican plight story. And I mean, I don't know if the broadcast goes up on the wall.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if you can see the fights take place on the ceiling.
Jesus.
Which would be an advantage.
You see a show there already?
In certain positions. No, I have not. Have you?
No, I heard it's just...
I've heard it's insane. Bert, what did Bert go to see there? The Dead?
He's seen a few there. He saw the...
Of course he has.
I gotta go. He saw The Dead, and he saw... He went to the U2 show when they were there, too.
Oh, wow.
He said, he's like, I cried so much.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, of
Emotional.
course. Yeah. I cried the whole time.
Your liver's failing.
My daughters were making fun of me. I'm like, yeah.
They should.
Yeah.
They should mock you. He doesn't just cry. He likes to take photos of him crying and then post it on Instagram. I'm so sad. My daughter went to college. Look, is this one good? How many did he take before he picked that one?
He's a fucking mess when I saw him.
Well, of course.
Yeah, the college drop-off has got to be heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was...
He's a character.
He's on one. He was in a fucking bender.
How's he doing these days? He benders. He goes off. He goes on.
Yeah, he's
cleaned up for a little while, and he went right back in.
He's on a Bert cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was real clean, and then my favorite. He was like, we were somewhere in Vegas, and somebody was like, do you want this? He's like, can't. I'm hardcore keto, and I was like, okay, and. Then we go to this. I'm like, okay.
The fucking way you said, we twisted your head. That's such a hardcore keto.
Hardcore keto. And then we go to this bar, and we're pouring drinks, Porosos drinks. We're like our brand, and it's like tons of people, and it's a very fun thing. Everyone's out and getting bottles and drinks, and we're signing things, and of course, like you know,
He's throwing them back.
He's throwing back, and at one point, he's standing there shirtless, and he goes, I'm absolutely fucking shit-faced. I go, yeah, I can tell. And so I go, hey, you know, some time passes. I go, you want to get out of here? He's like, yeah. I go, okay, we're going to go this way out of this place. And here's the exit. And he's like, okay. So I turn this way, say something, and I go, ready? He goes, I'm going to fucking stay. And I go, okay, I'll see you later, man. So
Really?
I leave. I get the fuck out of there. And then I run into him later. I'm like, how was it? He was like, dude, I was so hammered. I go, yeah, I know. He goes, yeah, I got back and I ate a dozen donuts. And I was like, I go, what happened to hardcore keto? He goes, well, I just ate the tops. And I go, that's not how keto
That's
works.
even worse.
Yeah.
That's where the frosting is. You fucking. What are you
Lunatic.
talking about?
He's a lunatic.
Oh my God. He's still alive. Mm-hmm. I wonder how long you can do that for.
I mean,
How long can you do that for?
yeah, he does it. And then, you know, what'll happen is like, so he's like, whatever, real crazy right now. And we'll see him in like a month, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, my other favorite phrase." He's like, "I quit drinking." I go, "When?" He goes, "Wednesday." And I'm like, "But it's fucking Friday." He's like, "I know, but it's like 48 hours, nothing." I'm like, "That's not
That's a normal
that's
person.
not how that term works." And he's like, but so he'll get to a certain point here where he'll be like, "I got to clean it up," and he'll just like really clean it up, you know, like won't drink for a while, clean up the diet. You'll see him just like thin out.
He takes a picture on Instagram.
Takes a good picture.
Sucks his gut in.
Sexy picture.
This is me now.
And then you'll be like, oh, you're
3
good.
weeks later, huge.
Yeah, it's a cycle.
3 weeks later, I see him waddle through the fucking green room at the mothership. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? The fuck are you doing?
I know.
He goes hard.
He goes hard, dude. He goes hard.
He
I've been
goes
going hard with eating just super clean, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? How long?
I'm a couple months in.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's the funny thing is like by just being so committed to it, anything outside of it now.
You feel it.
Yes. It's so like I really didn't have a reference for that before.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm eating a lot of, you know, pretty much the same wheelhouse of shit every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have 4 eggs, blueberries, a little while later, protein shake, lunch. I had lunch today, 10 ounces of chicken, greens. Then I have like little things like peanut butter jelly pack, like
So you
as
just
a bridge.
staying clean.
Yep. And then dinner, I'll have 16 to 20 ounces of lean protein, like sea bass, salmon. Sometimes I'll have leaner red meats, greens, fruit. And
You got someone organizing this for you, or are you
Yeah.
just doing it yourself?
I saw it. It was funny. I did it because I'm shooting a show next month. And I was like 3 months out, and I was like, fuck, if I don't like dial it in right now, I'm
You're
going
gonna
to
be
show
sloppy.
up. Yeah, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to be like, I just don't want to have regret. Like I didn't try.
Right.
And I was like, I know I'm not going to look like a Marvel guy in 3 months,
Right.
but I know I can clean it up in 3 months.
yeah.
And like, I mean, I'm
You just don't want to look at yourself on TV and go, oh, you
fuck.
fuck.
Yeah, you fucking loser piece of shit.
Yeah,
Look at you.
that's the worst.
So I've gone down, you know, I'm down to like 204, body fat's down, and I have about another month. So I just sticking to it. But the funny thing is like like the other night I got home and the boys were like, they got, what's it called? Like the shaved ice machine. And they've been making those, you know, during the day, and they're kids. And like, you got to have one. I go, okay, I'll try it. So they shave the ice in the machine and they pour flavors into it. And I take, you know, a few spoons. It's very sweet.
Right.
Dude, within an hour, I'm like, oh, like doubled over, running to the toilet.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh yeah, because I can isolate it now. Before when it was eating like a trash can, like I would just go like, oh, I don't know what it was.
Right.
You know, it was maybe it was the bread. Maybe
Also,
it was
you get used to feeling like shit.
Yeah, you do.
That's what Duncan had diabetes.
Yeah.
He got type 2 diabetes I think it's from vaping. Sugar for sure, but also vaping. And the reason why I say this is one of the things he found out, he was getting his blood sugar checked, and it was spiking. And he's like, I don't even understand. I'm not drinking any soda, not eating any sugar. And then he realized that it spikes after he vapes.
Wow.
And so, because he was, monitoring it. And then he realized, oh my God, there's a reason why this stuff is sweet. There's fucking sugar in the vapes.
That makes sense, 'cause I've tried them, and you're like, yeah,
Of
this
course.
is really sweet.
It's watermelon. How else are you going to get a watermelon flavor?
Yeah.
How else are you going to get a peach-flavored vape unless you have some sugar in there?
Yeah.
How are you getting fucking apple-flavored vapes?
Yeah, of course.
There's sugar in there.
There's sugar.
And so the sugar was spiking his blood pressure.
That's
or his blood
insane.
sugar level.
Did he get himself out of it?
Yeah,
By, like,
he got off of it and got on the Zins.
Wow.
And, you know, it's just you don't realize that you're poisoning yourself until you stop poisoning yourself.
Yeah.
And you eat really healthy. And he was like, dude, I don't need naps anymore. I have energy all day.
This
I'm
thing
like,
has helped me so much, dude. Like this eating plan.
Mm.
I got it from a nutritionist in L.A., Dr. Guglia. And like I told him a couple weeks into it, I was like, if I don't lose a pound, I'm already going to thank you for my digestion changing. Like I used to, you know, I got so used to just explosive shits all the time that, like, you know, like Christina was like, are you going to ever see a doctor? I hear this violence coming out of the bathroom. And I'm like, yeah, I got to go check it out. And then I had a colonoscopy a couple of years ago, and they were like,
Good to
no,
go.
you're good. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I have diarrhea 14 times a week. Is that normal? And they're like, I don't know, man. So this switching to like the way I just described my eating now, dude, I have totally normal gut health.
yeah,
Like-
that's how it's supposed to be.
It took me 45 years to figure out.
Well, that's one of the things that's very interesting about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. being connected to Trump in this election. If
Really?
Trump, yeah, because if Trump winds up winning, they're going to expose our food systems.
Ugh.
Robert Kennedy, one of the things that he really wants to do is he wants to expose a bunch of problems we have in our food system. One is glyphosate. Glyphosate, which is used, it's an herbicide. It's used all over the fucking place. It's in a lot of food. Most people they test, or some incredibly high number of people test positive for glyphosate in their blood.
Really?
Yeah, because you're getting it from organic vegetables even. Like some vegetables. No, I shouldn't say organic, but you're getting it from, like, there's some stuff that they just spray it on no matter, like, I think the most glyphosate, I think it might be corn. So it's like, what things contain the most glyphosate? Let's Google that. I think it's corn, rice, and different, you know, different
It's
vegetables and fruits.
Fascinating how if you go to Western Europe, you realize that
They don't use any glyphosate.
But like our food would be like illegal in grocery stores.
Our Fruit Loops are illegal in Canada.
Are they really?
Yeah, because we use dye. There's all these red dyes and shit in our Fruit Loops. They have the same Fruit Loops in Canada. They're like, no, you can't put that stuff in there. So they have to sell different Fruit Loops to Canada than they do to America. Some of the most common foods with glyphosate. Non-organic cereals and grains harvested with glyphosate. These include wheat, barley, buckwheat, millet, rice, oats, wild rice, popcorn, and sorghum. Wild rice. So you think wild rice, I'm getting wild rice.
Yeah.
Must be healthy.
Or popcorn.
But
seems...
a lot of people think that part of the thing that's going on with people, they say they're glucose or gluten intolerant, that it's not gluten that's fucking with them, it's glyphosate.
Really?
Yeah.
And this is just one of those like
One of those American things.
like huge conglomerates that's spraying it down.
Yep, Monsanto. Yeah.
that's
so
cool.
that's Roundup. And so there's that, and then there's seed oils. Fucking terrible for you. And they're in everything. And they're in everything because they're cheap. And it used to be industrial lubricant, and they figured out a way to make it somehow or another turn into food.
It's so fucking
Terrible.
sad that we have, like, and also that most people, myself included, I'm not even talking about other, like, you just don't have the knowledge of the, like, you have to inquire and really be curious about this.
And you got to dig for a long time. And if you talk to your doctors, a lot of times doctors don't know jack shit.
Yeah.
Most doctors spend a shockingly small amount of time in medical school studying nutrition.
Yeah.
Most doctors, they'll tell you, just need a healthy diet. I'm like, look at you, doc.
you.
Look at you, doc.
You know, I had a fucking neighbor that was a 260-pound cardiologist. Isn't that crazy? Like, I'm not
Unless
exaggerating.
he's 7 feet tall.
He wasn't. He's shorter than me.
Oh,
and I was
God.
like,
That's so big.
you
a
tell
cardiologist.
people? Like, hey, man, your heart's...
That's so crazy.
It's so crazy. He was wildly overweight.
Some people just can't control themselves. They just don't.
Yeah.
They don't have a history of controlling themselves, and so they just don't. They just eat.
I mean...
Bro, I remember Ralphie May. We one time we all left the Comedy Store and we went to a bar. It was Stanhope, me, and a couple other comics, and Ralphie. I think it was Joey, and Ralphie was going to meet us there. There was this bar that Stanhope used to like in Hollywood that we used to also go back in the day before Hollywood was a zombie movie, and so Ralphie doesn't show up. We're like waiting for him. Like, where the fuck is Ralphie? We were waiting for everybody outside. We were gonna all go in together and get a table.
Yeah.
And we're sitting outside and no Ralphie for a long ass time. And then all of a sudden, like an hour later, Ralphie shows up, and Ralphie's back seat was just filled with wrappers. So this poor guy was so addicted that he couldn't get in his car and drive from the Comedy Store to this bar, which was like 2 miles away. He had to stop at a Jack in the Box.
And tear it up.
And this was at a time where he got his stomach stapled, so he couldn't eat any meat. So he wasn't eating meat, so he's eating jalapeno poppers from Jack in the Box. Just stacks of them.
Yeah, he was really sick.
He was sick. He ate through his stomach stapling twice.
I got to piss real bad.
Oh, let's piss.
Okay, let's piss.
Let's pee together. And we're back.
Great pee. It's just such a game changer.
Yeah.
The
When you
relief.
have to pee and you can't concentrate, it's so hard to talk.
Yeah, I was just like, your eye starts to flutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me think about those debates. Like, what if someone has to pee in the debate? You got to dial your water in just right.
Do you have I have a pre-show pee routine.
Do you?
Yeah, kind of, because I would say like my fixation is I kind of have to, when I get like during the day I'm drinking water and a couple of coffees, and it's like if we're on the road, we go work out, I'm gonna increase the water intake, like start drinking more, and then you get ready, head over to the venue, and it's like, okay, I get there. Show's gonna be in 45 minutes. It's like I pee, but then I keep going like, oh, here's a water. Maybe pour a Diet Coke I'm gonna take on stage in a cup, water, and then it's like, all right, start the show. I introduce, opener, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go pee, and I'll be back, and I do that, and then it's like, hey, he's got 5 minutes left, and I always go, do I have to pee again? Like this is like a real, It's like you get go to a spa, and they're like, you're gonna get a massage, and they're like, do you have to pee? And I go, do I? I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's 4 drops left. I'd like to get them out.
Get them
before
out.
This.
The
And
worst is
that's-
if you have to shit.
Oh Jesus!
If you think you're going to go on stage for an hour and you have to take a shit, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How much time does he have left? He has 3 minutes left.
know.
I can't shit in 3 minutes.
I can't shit in 3 minutes. I know that is but your body does this thing where it'll shut the shit thing down unless it's like a real fucking emergency.
Right.
But
have you
your
ever had
body-
that on stage?
Have I ever had that? I have to fucking. I puked on the side of the stage.
Really?
Yeah, that was fuck. Those are.
Were you sick?
Yeah, and that was horrible. Literally in a can, in the wings.
Oh my God. Jesus.
And like that was rough.
Did you go back on stage?
Yep.
Did they know you threw up?
Nope. Until I told them.
Wow.
No. But the pee one, like I hate when you go, all right, I'm just gonna go out there. What am I, a fucking toddler? Just go fucking do your shit. And I'm like 5 minutes in, I'm like, I have to pee right now. And, and you just carry that.
Oh,
your
no.
body will like put it out of your mouth. But there's like this discomfort you have the whole time where you're standing there. I'm like, I'm gonna be out here for a fucking hour.
I did it once where I ran off stage and the mothership, the way I got to go
Yeah.
all the way up, I had to go all the way the fuck upstairs and just piss so hard.
And then went back.
Yeah. No, I didn't. It was like I finished my set.
Oh, when you finished, yeah.
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
halfway through my set, I was like, God damn it, I had to pee.
Yeah.
But someone was in the bathroom like right before I went,
Right.
and I was like, fuck.
No, it's. I mean, I've peed on the side of the stage before, like in a panic. Yeah,
Jesus.
I know.
On the ground?
No, like in a trash can. And in a cup. I've done that too. Yeah.
How many times has Ari peed right there? He pisses in fucking kombucha bottles. And
God.
everything.
No, fucking disgusting.
He's
man.
gross.
He's so.
He wants
gross.
you to know he's peeing in the room.
Yeah, show you his nuts and yeah, he's like, come on, man. I'm surprised I haven't seen him come. I've seen him pee so many times.
I know. We're getting close to October. We're gonna do something this year?
Dude, I'm shooting the whole month here.
Oh,
but I'll
like-
be here. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be here.
You gonna go sober?
No, sure. I mean, I'm gonna be like shooting 5 days a week. I'm sure I.
Do you think we can get Bert to go sober for a month again? Because last year he was excited to not do it.
I don't think. I don't want to speak for him, but no.
Maybe he could use it though, right?
I don't know.
Wouldn't be
I
the
mean,
worst thing in the world for him.
No, it's never the worst thing for any of us to take a month off. Sure.
Good.
I mean, yeah, I always feel like, I mean, it's what kind of challenge is it for each person, you know?
Well, it's easy for me. I haven't had a drink in since I had a couple glasses. I had a margarita and like a mule Saturday night. So that was it. That was the last time I had a drink.
Yeah, I had a few drinks Saturday night in Vegas. Yeah, we were doing.
I was at dinner with the missus, but I haven't had anything to drink since then, which is normal. I can go a week, 2 weeks. Like it's not, it's not that big a deal.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
but for Bert, it's a big ass deal.
Yeah, it tests his
will
for sure, and
will to live,
cleans him up. I think he also kind of gets off on the challenge of it because so many people are like, you're gonna struggle this, like, online, and I think that
well, Bert's another one that has that delusional I can't lose.
He is. I remember, what was the one that I was like, what are you doing? When he was like, I could do the splits. I was like, no, you can't. I think I can. I was like, you're gonna fucking tear your hamstrings.
When he told me he could, I really believed for a second he could. I was like, really? Wow.
Yeah, I know, because it also is one of those things that Bert could like, what I mean? It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities. It's
right.
Like, oh, you have this secret skill. You can also do this.
Right. Like when he played tennis. And he found out he could serve like a fucking pro.
Jesus. I know. He has all these like weird, like hidden skills. You know? Yeah.
I really believe that he could do the splits.
Yeah.
But he couldn't even come close. It wasn't even in the neighborhood where you did a split once in your life and you got to get it back. Like maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you did it when you were in high school and you can kind of get back there.
Yeah. But you could. Now, do you still do them all the time?
All the time.
Okay.
I stretch out constantly.
Okay.
Especially lately, because I've been dealing with like some real stiff back problems. Because when I shoot a lot of archery, I get real stiff in my right side of my lower back and my neck. Because my bow is 80 pounds to pull back, so I'm pulling back 80 pounds like 150 times a day.
Yeah. So then tightens up.
And everything's tight, so it really helps the stretching. Massage helps a lot, but man, stretching helps so much.
I started stretching. I have like, it's not that unusual, but kind of chronically tight hamstrings. That like, I'm like, fuck. And the massage definitely helps, but spending a little time every day working on hamstring stretches has definitely helped me.
It's fucking gigantic. Everyone should stretch. And especially for anyone that has like stiffness in their lower back and a lot of that stuff, like you'd be amazed at how stretching your hamstrings alleviates a lot of stress on your lower back.
Yeah, it's all tied there. Most like if a lot of times that lower back tightness, it's just you just follow the line. It's like your glutes into your hamstrings, and your hamstrings are super tight. They're pulling down. Yeah, and it'll relieve your lower back pains.
Yeah. I do a lot of hamstring exercises too, though. I do a lot of Nordic curls. I do those. Those are the shit, man. Once I started getting into those, the neo toes guys stuff.
Like Nordic, is that like laying flat?
Yeah, you lay flat and you pull yourself up with your hamstrings. It's fucking hard.
Really?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I do that for sets of 6, like 6 reps, pulling yourself up. And I remember the first time I did it, I couldn't do one. I was like, this is crazy.
Really?
Yeah, because I have strong fucking legs. Like, how can I not do this? This is nuts. I couldn't believe I couldn't do it. I was shocked. So I really started concentrating on it. Now, I do sets of 6, but I think I could probably do 9. If I guessed, I think I could do 9. It's that
challenging, though.
It's fucking hard, dude.
I don't think I've ever tried it.
You should try it.
Okay.
We'll do it out here. I have one right out in the middle of the lobby.
Really?
Yeah, I have one I have an extra one if you need one.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah. I have a bunch of them. I've gotten, there's the Tib Bar guy made me a cool one. And there's a few other ones. What's his other guy? Mr. Infinity. He made one that's really good. There's a lot of ones that are adjustable. They do a bunch of different things as well as just do the Nordic curls. Like some of them you could do reverse hypers on and a bunch of other lower back exercises. But it's a great one for stabilizing your knee. A really good exercise because there's nothing else like it that's like you're pulling your whole, like that's right there. That's what it looks like when you're doing it.
Yeah, that's
the Sorinex one.
Challenging.
It's fucking hard, man.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But the one that's really reason why I really like the Tib Bar guy one and the Mr. Infinity one is that you can change the angle of it. So instead of starting flat, like the Rogue one that we have outside, you start completely flat. And in the beginning, I had to help myself. I had to, what I would do is I put 2 fingers down and give myself a little push with the fingers and then complete the reps of my hamstring. And then try to lower myself as much as I could and then catch it.
Yeah.
But now I've got to the point where I just go all the way down slow and all the way up, no problem.
That's cool.
And I could do it But it took a while to build it up, and I was kind of surprised because I thought it was going to be like one of those things like a pistol squat. Like it looks hard, but I have strong legs. I can do that.
You can do that, yeah.
But I was like, this is fucking impossible.
Wow. Yeah,
But
I'd love to.
But you think about that kind of a pull. That's it right there. Who is this one? Tib bar guys. This one's a really good one, man. So you could use it to do back extensions.
Oh.
You could use it to do reverse hypers. Really top-notch stuff. And the angle change is huge because you start it off, give yourself a little bit of an angle, so you're already like halfway through the rep, and it's much easier. And then lower it a little bit, and then eventually you get it to flat.
I'd like
over
to try
time.
it. I'd like to try it.
It's especially for rehabbing that bad knee, the injured knee.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Anything I do leg curls too with those. You ever use those monkey feet things?
Yeah. I have
that thing's fucking great.
Yeah.
And then they have a new one, the Monkey Feet Pro,
haven't
where
seen
they have
that.
the plates already built into it, and so you can slide a pin out. You know, like those. Like dumbbells that do that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it's built in and it's flat at the bottom instead of like having a dumbbell that you have to attach to it.
That sounds
That's
cool.
Yeah, that's the new one, the Monkey Feet Pro. That's fucking huge. But all those different things to stabilize all those muscles and to do knee raises and fucking phenomenal stuff, man.
Yeah, that seems awesome.
So if we do Sober October, do you think we should have some sort of a challenge this year, or should we?
I can't. I just won't have any time.
Right.
Like I just will be way too busy.
Are you going to work out at all?
Yeah, so I already talked to I go, look, I mean, I've been preparing for this thing by training 6 days a week and alternating. Like today was a steady state cardio day, so I did an endurance ride for 60 minutes, a bike ride. And then tomorrow morning I'll get up and lift. And then, so
So you're really organized.
I'm organized. I like structure. So I'll follow my plan, but I'm able to do right now hour sessions, hour lifting, hour cardio sessions. Sometimes I can do 2 a days if the schedule allows, do 2 in a day. But I was like, look, I know when we're in production,
You won't have the time.
no. So I'm just my trainer and I have been figuring out like, all right, what about like, because I've had days where I go, I don't have an hour, right? But you can still like get something good going in 30 minutes.
Sure.
And I'm like, look, all I got to do, I just don't want to get into working on production and just go into zero, because I'll feel like shit too.
Right.
So figuring out like, okay, I think it has to be AM for me. This whole idea that I'm going to shoot all day and then at the end of the day you're prepping for the next day and I'm going to go work out now at like 9:30. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So we're going to try to organize workouts that are more condensed that I'll be able to keep doing through production. This is 6 weeks, 7 weeks of production,
And what is the show?
So this is the show that I don't think I've ever shown you, but like 2 years ago, I had a break on my tour, and I had this kind of distorted sense of income because you're on tour, and you're like, I love features, but trying to pull a feature together is a huge undertaking.
Right.
But if you want to shoot like a short film, it's a lot easier to manage. So I go, I had all these things that I've written, 5 to 10 page short stories. And I hit up my friend Rami and I was like, hey, we'd work together and stuff. He's the one that directed my my music video.
The fucking Steven Seagal
yeah,
one?
the Steven Seagal one. So I go, I got a break on tour. I'm willing to write a check to make a short film.
Can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
Did Bert ever have a real hard problem with you stabbing him to death?
He was like, I don't know. That's just your humor. He's like, people ask me, and he said, I just told them that's Tom's humor. I guess that's what he finds funny.
Because I was like, if my friend did a video where he stabbed me to death, I might be like, how does he really feel about me? Like, what the fuck is going on? He just stabbed me to death on a video.
But he is right in that I do. I mean, if you see the series, you'll see that like, oh, this is a warm feeling to you. Like I did. Yeah, there it is.
This is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he's so big in that video.
I know.
Oh, with the face swap.
Yeah, it was a great deep fake at that time too. It's gotten so much better now. But anyway, I tell my friend, I go, I want to shoot a short film, during this break, and like I'll pay for it, and I just want to shoot it and put it out, kind of like the music video. And he was like, I was sending him scripts, and he's like, I think we could actually, if you can take this like 11 days, I think we could shoot 3. And I'm like, really? Like, that's going to be fucking crazy to shoot 11 days in a row on break when I should be like taking time down. But I go, okay. So we sign up to shoot 3. And again, the whole thing is like, we'll just make these because I enjoy making them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we shoot them, and then when we have them, we're like, oh, this kind of is like a show now. It's like a old Twilight Zone, where it's just like, here's a short story. So then we went back to a white cyc, like a sound stage, and I shot an introduction to like I'm the host of a show. And then the idea was, you remember I built like during the pandemic this pay-per-view kind of website, you know, where people could buy tickets to like live podcasts. I was like, oh, I know what I'll do. We'll cut this together, and then this will be the first like ticketed event, like pay-per-view event that is a scripted written show, as opposed to like a live podcast, which I was really excited by. I was like, look, I don't even care. I don't need to make money. Even if this like helps me recoup a portion of what I spent to make this, I feel like that would be a win. It's just exciting to try something new like that.
Right.
So it's all cut together. You know, it's super high production quality. And I show it to like agents, and they were like, they go, you got to show this to some of the streamers, you know. Because I told them my plan. I was like, yeah, my plan was just to do this. And they go, I think you can get a series out of this. And we showed it to Netflix, and they were like, yeah, we'll do a series. You can do 6 of these. So now we spent time, obviously, in the writer's room writing 6 episodes worth of these. And each episode will have like a theme, and then short stories that are dark, like twisted, fucked up stories. They're with a comedic twist to it, right? Like things that are comedic in nature, I would say, but dark. So I think it's like I say like the best way to describe it is it's kind of a comedic Black Mirror. Short stories that are twisted, that have a comedic tone.
So do you have the whole? First of all, you really like to be busy.
I mean,
like more than anybody I know.
I do feel, I think, better having a lot going on. Yeah.
But you like to be overwhelmed.
I think there's a line. I've discovered in my life that there's a line, and that I can, and you figure out the line by living. Well, that you get to.
I'm coming everywhere was the line.
That was too much.
Right.
That was
your tour.
That was the last tour, and that was, we leave Monday and we do shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You know, like that, and that was week after week, and that was a lot. That was too much. This tour that I've been on this year is like, this weekend I'm in Eugene, Vancouver, and Denver. That's it. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm home that night.
Right.
The next week, Cleveland, Buffalo, Toronto. It's like three shows, 3 nights.
Right.
That's a much more manageable way to live.
Yeah.
But I had to figure it out. Production too. There's no way to work in production where I'm writing, producing, I'm directing some of them. There's no way to do that without being busy, but it's also a condensed amount of time. That's what I like about productions, is that you
only have a few weeks.
You see your end date.
Yeah.
You're like, we're done here. So we just have to make it happen. So, I mean, it'll be a very busy 6 weeks for me, but it also will be over. And
when is that going to get out on Netflix?
My thought is that it would probably be in the spring, I think. So I'm sure that conversation will continue.
Exciting.
But I'm so fucking stoked for it, dude. Like we got a great group together to write it. I love that I get to work with Rami. I'm working with Jeremy Connor, and just a great crew. And like, we're casting here in the next couple weeks. One of the things I'm honestly super proud of is that I got them to let me do the show in Austin, and we're gonna have Austin production, Austin crew. We're casting Austin actors, so it's like a real Austin production. You know? So that to me was like very fun. I was like, I don't want to go move to Atlanta to do this. Like, I want to do it home.
There's got to be plenty of actors here.
Oh, for sure, there's actors here, and also and we are doing Austin locations. Like, we're just shooting all over the city. But I think that's fucking cool.
That's pretty dope, dude.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
It's a wild show. When you see this stuff, you're gonna be like, "You're fucked up, man."
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited. So when do you start?
Our first shoot day is October 7, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
That's not long from now.
6 weeks of chaos.
6 weeks of chaos, and then
There's something about having a goal too, like a thing that you're working towards. It just changes your mindset.
yeah, I think this has helped with like even like I was saying the focus of like nutrition and health and like the discipline of that bleeds into the discipline of the writing and like getting these meetings done and like you know it all comes together.
Yeah. When I was getting ready to do my live special, knowing that there was a date that this had to be done, and then it was only on one night.
Yeah.
So it was like this like super hyper focus of getting ready for something like that.
Yeah.
And when I did it, I was like, after it was over, I was like, I want to do that again.
Really?
Like, yeah. At first I was like, I'm going to do this one time and I'm never going to fucking do this again because this is a ridiculous idea to be able to do something live to millions of people on Netflix.
Well, you enjoyed the experience,
I liked it.
but you like the heightened pressure.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like it too much.
Well, that's kind of how I am about being busy.
Have you ever
with
thought
things.
about doing a live special?
Never thought about it.
You should do it.
You think so?
Yep. I think everybody should do it. Yeah. Everybody's good. You do good shows. You do great sets for, headlining sets. Just get it dialed in to where
How that moves.
and let's fucking go. And just bust that motherfucker out for the whole world. And you don't have to do editing.
That I'll tell you, I fucking hate.
Ooh, it's the worst.
The last one they called me and they go, so we're going to have to change your release date because you won't watch
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, yeah, fuck, man.
I always have that problem. I don't want to watch me.
I don't either.
I don't want to.
I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
I was like, and then
It's gross.
Then I told them I wanted the show that they were like, no, not that. I go, yeah, no, I want this show. And they were like, what about the other show? I go, I don't want that show. And then everyone was like, I go, you asked me to fucking watch it. I watched it.
Well, that's got to be. You can't have anybody giving you advice.
No.
I don't agree. I think if a comic is going to put out a special, it should be that comic special, and what that comic thinks should be on that special,
Yeah.
and that's it. I don't want I remember Robbie and Bill Burr were arguing in the parking lot of the Comedy Store, and Robbie was drunk, and Bill Burr was like, "Hey, I'm not going to fucking argue with you about what my fucking act is while you're drunk at the Comedy Store." And it was this like incredible moment. I'm like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to have someone tell you what the fuck you're going to put in your act.
Sure.
Like, do you know how to do comedy? No,
Yeah.
you don't do comedy, right? Shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. This is crazy. This is a crazy conversation.
yeah, I don't
But
know.
everybody wants to get in there.
I know.
That's the problem with, like, if you were doing your show. It's a problem with doing anything. Like, imagine if you did your mom's house and you had a bunch of people you were working for.
It's a great analogy. I mean, yeah.
Especially your mom's house live.
Oh, my God. No, well, yeah, that wouldn't work.
Which I was at Fear Factor for 6 years, and
Yeah.
I fucking gagged so hard watching that show. I had to turn away
I
3 or
know.
4 times.
I've dry heaved a lot doing that. Yeah, it's so gross. I know you're right. I mean,
no one would let you do it, but yet it's hugely successful.
it's totally true. I mean, notes wise, I'll say this, like, because I experienced this with the book. I wrote a book, a year ago or whatever. Is like the first time you get notes on anything, a script or anything, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
And then when you do encounter notes of value, because there are notes that are
Sure.
that you go like, that was a good note. You have to be able to balance, because what ends up happening, the way to really I think handle it is you listen to all of them, but you also have to be able to go, I hear what you're saying on this, and I totally disagree. You can't.
Right.
When it's hard to do when you're like starting out. Right. 'Cause
Right,
you
it's
just, like,
impossible.
you just can't. But once you kind of know yourself and what you're trying to do, you get to go like, oh yeah, that's a good. I know what you're going for there. I don't want to do that,
Right.
and so I'm not.
Yeah.
But your other note was great. And
But could you imagine if, like, you decided that, like, doing your mom's house was too difficult, so you're going to bring in some Hollywood executives to help you?
Oh my God.
Some actual Hollywood producers that do, like, Keeping Up with the Kardashians or something, and they're gonna help you produce your mom's house.
I mean, I had the fucking. That's so far fetched that, like, it's like it would be such a fucking shit show.
It would be terrible.
It would be terrible. It would be
But isn't it interesting that it's so popular?
Yeah.
That, like, but people, once it becomes popular, then they would want to get in on it.
And here's how we can make it better.
Yeah, we'll tighten it up.
Yeah.
Figure out a way to
Well,
make
can you
it.
imagine somebody telling you how to run this thing?
It'd be impossible.
Yeah.
I can't even when someone asks me to put someone on, even if I would want to put that person on, now I don't want to put them on.
Just because they asked you?
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want to get into that. I only want to have people on the show that I want to have on the show, and that's it. That's the only way I've ever done it. It's the only way I want to do it.
Somebody asked me just like a week ago, a guy stopped me and he was like, I have a question about podcasting. I go, what? He goes, what's the like criteria for asking someone to be a guest? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, what do you check off? And I go, somebody I want to talk to.
Yeah.
Like that's it. He goes, that it? I go, that's it.
That's it.
That's what I want to do.
That's the beautiful thing about what we're doing and the beautiful thing about today. There's never been a time like that where something can reach fucking millions and millions of people. And it's just, I want to talk to that guy.
Yeah.
Like, this guy doesn't think the moon landing's real. Come on in.
Come in here. Yeah.
Let's talk. You had that fucking hummus cannon guy on. That nutty dude.
That dude. And the funny thing is, we were exchanging videos of him before that. Remember, we were like, look at this guy.
Is that guy for real? Like, what do you think is going on?
Real.
So that's really who he is?
That's who he is.
You sure there's not like a little bit of...
He understands, he gets, Will Blunderfeld, he gets that there's an angle with which people are seeing this through, and he understands the humor in it, but it's based in, for him, an authentic point of view, for sure.
So he's trying to get straight guys to do gay stuff.
He would say that's fucking gayer to not do that stuff. Yeah.
This is Spartan
The straightest
mentality.
thing you can do is fill another guy up with cum. It's like one of his quotes. Yeah.
What's funny about that is that used to be how warriors lived.
That's what he talks about all the time. He's pretty well versed in like Spartan history, samurai, and he'll know these. He's like, here's the literature. He'll show you. Like, and I think, look, the real, if you want to like break down what he's doing, I think a big part of what he's doing is trying to
trick guys into fucking them.
That's one of them. The other one is, shedding this masculinity is only this. Like that's like the origin of it, right? That like that you don't have to be this way in order to be or like guys are whatever. So many guys are super homophobic. Is like that's like the footsteps of all this starting. Mm-hmm. And then I think he's very aware of humor. And he has
to be.
Yeah, he totally
calls his dick a hummus cannon.
Oh, it's great. I mean, yeah, and yeah, your wonderful starfish receptacle or something.
Yeah, whatever he says.
Yeah.
Your dirt hole, whatever he calls it.
Yeah, it's all types of where you got to lick each other's nipples if you're a real man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he knows what he's doing. I think he knows what he's doing.
How many guys are sucking his dick because of those videos?
A couple have probably been like, "Am I straight now? I did what you said." I don't know, man.
But that's the thing. Like, if someone gets enough followers, there's going to be, out of every 1,000 people, there's a guy that you can talk into being in a cult.
My favorite is this guy right now, Fancy Chef. Where he's like,
I don't know.
he's just I haven't sent you Fancy Chef videos.
No,
he's just like in his kitchen and he's in a chef's outfit with the hat, and then he'll put like strawberries in a glass. He's like, beautiful and nice. Look at this shit I just made. We're like, you just put strawberries in a glass, but he keeps and he's like, book me, call me right now, millionaires and billionaires only. And he does this whole pitch about how he's like a world-class chef, and you just keep watching. You're like, am I getting trolled, or is what's going on?
Is this
here?
a delusional person, or is this a subtle troll?
That's exactly what you do. And then the more you watch, you're like, oh no, he's delusional for sure. But
meanwhile, being delusional can get you pretty fucking far.
It can, and like he.
So he is cooking food. What's the food on the left? Left right there. What is that? What has he got going on there?
I can't hear.
Looks like chicken.
I'm gonna let that bake. That's beautiful and nice. Got that
Beautiful and nice.
thyme on there. That's gonna give you the flavor, love. That's beautiful.
Well, he just laid
And you
fucking
suck your
thyme on
teeth
top
into
of it.
that.
I don't know that that's going to do
And I
anything.
think in your stomach, I'm telling you, that's gonna be a deliverance. When I tell you, that's gonna so make you scream and shout. That's gonna say a lot to you.
And he goes
That's gonna be
between this.
deliverance.
There's a lot of wine glasses. Like he's always putting something in a glass, and then look at the top comment. Day 238 of not knowing whether this channel is satire. Like it's like,
JB, I'm going to send you a guy that I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to this dude. It's
can't
a
get enough
BS
Fancy
dining experience.
uh-huh.
And all this dude does is deep fry food.
That's it.
But it just does it with enthusiasm,
Excited,
outdoors. Give me some volume. Go down and get the chicken, not the snake. The snake's disgusting. Go down and get some of that chicken. Listen to this.
Hold it up.
Give me this.
You know we about to get ready to baptize inside that
He
grease.
baptizes it in the grease. Everything gets
That's
baptized.
a lot of chicken, bro.
Oh yeah, he's cooking for like parties. Watch this though.
Baptize that chicken. Season to perfection.
Watch
Watch
this.
it hit that grease you want to roll. And watch this.
Watch
right
this. Watch this.
Here. Baptism.
Can you imagine how good that is, dude?
Oh my God, I get so hungry. And watch when he puts it out.
I promise you it's golden brown. Watch this real quick. Watch this.
Watch when he pulls it out.
Look at that
Oh
color.
my
We're gonna drop it
God.
back down for another 7 minutes. We're gonna drop the next batch. And they
Come
ready.
on. Come
Look
on.
at 'em.
Look at that. Look at
Crispy,
that.
Juicy on the inside. Seasoned to perfection. I'll see you on batch number 2.
And he does this with everything. He does it with fish. Like go back to his page. To his actual page so you can see all the different So he's got all kinds of shit. Like look, he's doing crabs
Fish
and
and-
fish. Look at this. It's all deep fried, terrible for you.
Yeah.
Looks amazing.
Can
Look,
I
he's
tell you,
got
I think
waffles and everything.
if you were like,
Donuts.
what's the decadent thing you kind of want to indulge in? Where I'm like, when it's done well, I don't know that anything makes me happier
What?
than fried chicken.
Fried chicken at Roscoe's with waffles, with butter and syrup, and you get a little piece of the chicken, a little piece of the waffle. Sensational.
Fried chicken where the crisp is done perfectly
Perfect.
and the chicken isn't dry, like it's still moist.
Juicy. Oh, that's why that guy's stuff looks so good.
Oh my god!
Juicy, like a juicy fried chicken.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's anything more satisfying.
I got Colonel Sanders the other day.
Yeah?
Not the other day, about 7 months ago. I was just driving and I was hungry. Like, chicken's probably pretty safe. Let me pull in and get some fried chicken. It just tasted like poison.
Yeah.
I was like, what's in this?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of oil are you guys using? When was the last time you cleaned the oil?
At KFC,
A random KFC in the middle of nowhere. So I've had some KFC that's really good. Like there used to be a KFC in Woodland Hills. I used to get every now and then. I wanted to cheat. I'd go in there and get a fucking bucket of chicken. Let's
fried
go.
chicken is the
so
way to
good.
go. Yeah.
So good with hot sauce on it. Oh baby! But
By
this
the way, I
one was
thinking about-
terrible.
Do you have an unnatural tolerance for hot sauce? Don't you?
Yes,
Is this genetic?
I think it is because my daughter has it. I
Oh,
have
like,
one daughter that
you haven't like trained up to it, or you have kind of.
I think I've trained up to it too. Yeah,
But one daughter is like,
one daughter just can take anything.
And she's fine.
Yeah, she loves it. She's like really hot stuff. Like I brought her some of that Senor Lechuga. I have a partnership with Senor Lechuga, and we make some crazy hot sauce. There's like Reapers in it. And
Yeah.
it's
And-
potent. She just no problem.
so that is kind of that's.
It has to be genetic. Part-
Yeah, because I've been with you and I've been like, "What are you talking about?" And you're like, "That's fine." I'm like, "That's not fine. No one else is fine."
Yeah, I'd fuck up that hot wing show. I can
Yeah.
get down.
I think you would.
I can get down. Yeah.
He's the best. Sean,
Yeah.
I love Sean Evans. He's great.
I just don't want to answer questions while I'm eating hot sauce.
Yeah, well,
it just
that's-
doesn't
yeah.
make any sense. But I can get down with some ferocious shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm like, well, this can't just be like natural.
No,
I mean,
no,
like it's natural, but I'm saying that's not everybody.
No, I think there's some genetic and then there's some build up to it.
Right.
But I like it. I like
I like I like kick, but I don't like that.
I like woof.
Really?
I like woof.
And you don't feel like it
I start sweating. My daughter makes fun of me because I
I do
literally
too.
pouring down my face.
Yeah,
She's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Look
Yeah.
at your head.
I start sweating, but I start sweating way lower.
My clothes are wet. Like
Yeah.
everything."
I love it on eggs.
Oh yeah,
Hot sauce on
yeah,
eggs
yeah. I
is-
put Senor Lechuga on my eggs this morning. I had eggs with elk sausage for breakfast. Ooh, babe, you want some elk sausage? I got some.
Yes.
Ooh, I'll hook you up.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna leave here. I'll give you a bunch.
Okay.
I got a commercial freezer back there filled with
Okay.
it.
I'll definitely
Yeah.
take some.
Oh, elk sausage is so good, man.
And it's just like ready to, frozen. I just is it?
Yep, frozen. And I got this jalapeno cheddar.
What's the best way to prepare that elk sausage?
I like it
Just-
on a skillet.
Okay.
I like it. I do it on a Traeger too. I do it on the pellet grill. That's good too. You get it to a certain temperature. I like that too. I do it real slow. I do it like 225 degrees and get it up to like 134 internal and then pull it.
Yeah.
But it's as long as you don't overcook it because they do add like a little bit of pork fat when they make it for me because I get it prepared at like a butcher shop. But you're dealing with a much leaner meat. It's you know
you can dry it out.
Yeah, you can dry it out.
Yeah.
You know, and there's like a fine line. You want it like right where medium rare
That's
is.
why I do. I love using my pellet grill.
Oh, pellet grills are great.
That's great.
Yeah, and they're so easy. I got the newest Traeger. I had the old one, but the newest one is so much better. It's incredible.
Really?
Yeah, it makes everything smokier. The effect is better. The flavor's better. It's easier to use. It's got 2 different probes for temperature. It's just like it alerts you on your app. You
the
can
app is
lower
great.
and
Yeah.
raise the temperature on the app.
I know. I went out. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I left the house with the boys. Just check
Yeah, you see the
app,
temperature
and
of the
like,
food. You can see the temperature of the grill. And you can say, you know what, it's getting a little close. Let me drop that bitch down to 180.
Yeah.
And bang.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible technology.
Well, it's just so easy to use. I still like an offset smoker too, though. I have a real offset smoker that I got. That is better. The thing about the real offset smoker, it's much more of a pain in the ass, but there's certain sugars that you get from the wood itself, like a real piece of mesquite, a real piece of post oak, and you set a little fire underneath there with little sticks and you get it built up, and then you dial it in with the dampers. It's like a thing. It's like a lot of work.
Yeah.
But the flavor is even more intense.
I know. I get so seduced by these videos of people doing things, and I
Yeah.
found this. I forget what company it is. Makes this like Argentine.
I got one of those too.
Like
Grillworks.
Where they
Yeah.
can wheel it
Yeah.
over the fire, and
You
like
want-
a
you need one of
parrilla.
those.
I want one of those.
Grillworks.
Yeah, I want
Go to
one.
Grillworks.
I want one of those.
This dude, Grillworks Ben, he hooked me up, and I had one installed at my house. But it's the same thing. Cranking up, that is great for steaks.
Just like watching that video, I was like,
Oh,
I gotta get
yeah,
one of those.
because it's the same thing. You're just using hardwood. So you just got hardwood cooking. You get those flames rising up. Look at that. Look at that. There's a place.
Oh, this is the thing that I'm looking up.
Exactly. Well, that's the place in Vegas.
This is it.
Bizarre Meats, Jose Andres' place.
Yeah.
That's what they use.
I want one of these.
That I'll get you. I'll hook you up.
Really?
Yeah. I'll have that guy make you one.
Fuck yes,
You'll love
dude.
it. You'll love it. They're the shit. They're
For
the
a
shit.
steak, that's
oh,
nothing better.
It's incredible. And they
Open
have a bunch of
fire.
different ones. They can either do a custom build or they can just have one like that that's already made. They roll it into your backyard.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible.
That's so cool.
And if you dial it in right, if you use meat probes and you slowly cook it and then sear it at the end,
Nothing better.
it has that flavor. Like that place, Bizarre Meats in Vegas.
Shout out
you
to
walk,
Jose, man.
Shout out to Jose.
Jose Andres is the shit.
Bro, how crazy was what happened to him in Israel?
With his World Central Kitchen
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah. It looks like they targeted them.
It's horrible, man.
Didn't they kill like 6 people?
A bunch of people died.
Yeah, who are just trying to feed refugees.
It fucking sucks.
How crazy is that?
It sucks.
So
and those guys
dark.
are just, they go, people don't know, World Central Kitchen just goes anywhere there's a disaster,
Yeah.
like hurricane, tornadoes, earthquakes,
In the
war
meeting,
zones.
the invasion of Ukraine,
Yeah.
they were setting up outside the
And they're
border.
just like, people
Yeah.
need to eat.
Yeah.
They're not like politically siding with anyone.
Nope.
They're just feeding people.
They're not even publicizing it.
Yeah.
He's just doing it,
They
and then
just do
people
it.
write stories about the fact that he's doing it.
It's incredible.
He's genuine. He's
Yeah.
like there's genuine people that are really filled with like real philanthropy, like really want to help people.
Yeah.
And that's that guy.
Yeah.
And his food is insane.
Oh my God.
That Bizarre Meats in Vegas is like so underrated.
And he has a one in D.C. Starts with a J. I forget. It's so fucking good. All Spanish. Like always, like his food.
I think he's got one in Chicago too.
Yeah, he's got a bunch, but he doesn't miss. That dude's food is amazing.
He's the best. Tommy Buns, you're the fucking man.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks for doing this, brother.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
So when your show comes out, come back and do it again. We'll
I would
promote
love
it.
to.
We'll see
Thank
it.
you so much.
My
Thank you.
pleasure. All right.
All right.
Bye,
Peace,
everybody.
guys.
Check on the baseball stuff.
Oh, check on the
quick.
baseball stuff real quick.
Just a quick check.
Okay. Good call. Good call. All right. Open up Google. High school baseball. Come on.
Or what was the other one you said? Humidors?
Yeah, Humidors and high school baseball. Nope. Mostly shit I already look at. Phones, cars, Halle Berry,
Yep.
boxers, Michael Jordan.
Didn't work.
Nope, not yet.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe
I'll
eventually.
I'll send you.
Right
I'll
now,
send
it
you-
seems like all the same stuff that we always talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will definitely.
Science, black hole, Stephen Colbert. All right. Thanks, Jimmy. Bye, everybody.